Yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo. Test. Okay. I'm back. I don't know why the delay's like so high. It's like horrible. It's like y'all still can't hear what I just said. Oh my god. Like that's the longest delay ever. That's crazy. Okay. So we gotta talk about a couple things. This is crazy. This is actually crazy on what Fortnite did. This is something that Fortnite should have done like a long time ago. Like I'm talking about this is something crazy that Fortnite should have done so long ago. Like Fortnite should have done this like 2 years ago. Whenever sprites came. So whenever sprites came, they should have done this. So we're gonna go to our sprites. Right? We're gonna scroll all the way down. Okay. Look at these sprites. Look at the sprites. We don't have to pay any sprite dust. Look. It's actually crazy. We literally don't have to pay any sprite dust. Literally, go to your sprites, scroll all the way down. We literally don't have to pay anything for these sprites. That's crazy. I'm literally gonna get every sprite from somebody because it doesn't even cost sprite dust anymore. Like, boom, we're about to do it. Boom, John Wick is back. Let's go. Batman is back. Let's go. Um, Grim is back. Let's go. Everything's back. It's like, this is such a game changer. This is such a game changer. I'm going to be letting everybody index. You know how fast these indexing are gonna be? It's gonna be so fast. Let's go. We're gonna hop straight into this. Watch it. I'm gonna commentate a little bit. See who we could get in the stream. That was something I wanted to go over. Oh shoot, I wanted to go over the Fortnite item shop. I did want to do that too. I'm gonna back out because I do want to talk about that too. That's something that I had to start the stream with. That's something I had to start the stream with. These two things. I was like, I need to talk to chat about this. Okay, so why has Fortnite been cooking with their item shops? Like, look at this. Let's go look. Let's go look. I'm talking about their emotes. Like, look at this. Hold up. Like, we got this emote. We got this emote. I'm doing it kind of fast so I don't get copyrighted. Like, tell me this is literally the best. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 emotes. This is the best 8 emotes Fortnite's ever had. Like, you're telling me we got this one to start off. Like, they're literally just the best. Like, the item shop is actually crazy. Like, this is definitely a good emote. This is a good emote. This, not really. I don't know why it's still there. This is a good emote. This is an amazing emote. 2017. This is a good emote. No. And a little bit, but not really. Like, I'm telling you, this item shop has been crazy. Okay, now let's load in. Before we load in, if you guys could use code Chieflen if you guys are buying anything, appreciate it. Those things I had to start stream with. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna try to get every sprite now, for you guys, and then start giving them away. Just waiting right now. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's see. Let's see. We got 1 minute. 1 minute. Let's see how fast. Let's see how far we could get to the TV. Oh, right here. Dang. Right by the speakers. That's it. Wow. There's literally no workaround. That's crazy. Wait, I wonder if they added Clix's trophy in here. I wonder. That'd be crazy if they didn't. I doubt it. No, they didn't. Wow, bro. They did not put it in here. Wait, you could click on the trophy? Yo. Let's turn that off. I'm trying to interact.
You are a 2023 global champion.
Okay, yeah.
Lift that trophy.
Pretty cool.
He gets denied. Mustache, Queasy, and Swizzy have done it.
That's pretty cool. Okay, time to go back over here. This is the last chance. Yes, sir. This is the last chance. It's now. Yeah, it's literally now or never. Or never. Wow, I literally knew where this was going. Come on, bro. How many qualify? I think 20, maybe? I don't know. Ooh, wow. Third party after third party after third party. Jeez. What's good?
Fortnite fam, welcome. This is it. One final opportunity to try and make it to the Global Championship later this year. Only 2 spots are up for grabs today. This is the players' opportunity. This is their moment. This is their last chance.
Okay, so 50 teams and only 2 teams move on. Wow, they kept this small. Only 2 teams qualified. That is crazy. Only 2 teams qualified. That's crazy. I was expecting more, but I think I'm thinking of a different tournament. I think I'm thinking of last week. I don't know. Okay, let's listen.
Are you feeling it? I'm feeling it.
I mean, you're always feeling it, but I'm definitely feeling it as well. I'm so excited, and honestly, I feel like Epic and Blast are pushing the envelope for this tournament, because in the past, we've asked, do players deserve a second chance? And then the envelope was pushed more of, do players deserve a last chance? But Zeke, have we ever asked the question?
100%. Every player should deserve a second chance.
Well, we're going to be finding that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be locked in next season, bro.
Although we've already had so many teams made their way to the global championships, we're going to be finding just 2.
You definitely got to give people another chance, bro. You definitely got to give them another chance.
Over first 6 games of it.
I
So
can't wait
much
to
is
see
going
what
to
next
change,
season
and
is.
with
I've
what
heard
we saw just
trio,
from major
which I've
players,
also heard
let me
trio's
know.
not
Let's get
happening.
started.
Really like what Ozzy was kind of describing this little
Oh
last
yeah, yeah.
chance
Of course they don't.
qualifier as
I
he
mean,
kind of
that yeah,
coined it
that
this
makes
mini
sense.
FNCS.
That
And
does
that's
make
really what
sense.
it
So
feels like. We've
whoever
kind of
qualified
crammed
doesn't
in
count already.
what
That
feels
makes
like an
sense.
FNCS into just
What
a
was I gonna say?
single day here that has culminated into just
Oh, I was
6
saying about
games
next
for one of
season.
the
I've
most
heard
coveted
trio, but then I've
spots
also
that you
heard
can
trio's
compete for
not
and
gonna
play
happen.
a
I've
spot
heard
at LAN.
solo.
Super excited to
I
see.
don't know. I mean,
Oh my gosh,
solo is
so
confirmed,
much
but
to
like
talk about.
people are also
I'm
saying
gonna continue
trios,
harping on it
duos,
till we
squad.
say
Like I don't know.
goodbye
I
because
haven't heard
this
squad, but
is
I've
the
heard duo,
last day of the
solo, and
start.
trio.
Very simply, what are we here for? Obviously, I just said 2 spots going to the global championships, but there's also players who are competing for prize money, right? $30,000 here to split 2 ways for the duo that comes in first place. But Kelly, you know, some players are fighting for those 2 spots. Others, they already have their spots qualified, right? They're
Yep,
already
they're
good to
just trying
go.
to get that
They're fighting
30,000.
for a larger
Yep.
chunk of this prize money.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
true.
30K is
Although I
not.
do think,
That's
you
a
know, in
lot, bro.
these or show opens that we have, we kind of like to talk about the teams that we think are going to come out on top on the leaderboard. But I think we should probably focus a little bit more on the teams that have not qualified just yet. But really quick, let's do touch on the teams that have already qualified, as we can see from this list right here. But there's some notable names that we won't be seeing compete already. We got no Acorn and Bolt, our reigning champs, no Muzz and Rise, no Golden and Ozone. And so it's a big question as to how this will affect the lobby.
In total, when we do go ahead and break it down today, we have 10 total teams competing here today that are already qualified to the global championship spot. So technically, we have an opportunity to kind of roll those qualification spots down to top 12, but I do not think that's going to be the case. If any of you guys at home had the opportunity to watch EU, or if you didn't, I'll go ahead and let you in on the know-how.
I watched
there were
EU.
16 global championship qualified teams competing on EU, and it ended up being top 6 to actually qualify. So only 3 of those 16 global championship teams actually made
Wow,
it
and a
to
lot of them
championship
that
spots
qualified
once
like
more.
did
So
not
it's
even
gonna be
get
super
top
fun
7.
out
It
here
was
today.
crazy.
And these stats kind of break it down just simply put. FNCS finals appearances amongst all of our players competing today is going to get up to that 725 mark. If anybody kind of saw this session summary that we did during major number 2, that number was about 780, 790. So this lobby in general is very, very close to the caliber of that major 2 finals that we saw. In Zeke, 61 players with 0 LAN finals appearances, right? Trying to get their opportunity, their breakout performance, so we can see them on the big stage.
There's so many dreams here, so many players who need to qualify, so many players.
I know tomorrow's live event's at 2 p.m., but I actually don't know when the new season is. I've heard the
competition has
20th.
been very fierce this year. Let's talk about a couple of names. Right off the bat here, we got to talk about Booga and Braids as the Lion roars, looking to earn themselves a spot. This is Mr. World Cup, Kelly Link. If he does not make it to the global stage, it just gotta be heartbreaking, right?
Especially with the year that Booga has been having, he's kind of just been on everyone's minds. He's been on like a hot topic recently, especially after they got that qualification to EWC. So they did
I don't know when
13th place
first
in
game
Major
starts.
2, which although not
Should be
necessarily
soon. Oh,
terrible,
10 minutes?
wasn't the
Jeez.
performance that they wanted. But I do have to say, Booga's performance really impressed me. And not to say that Braids performed underperformed, whatever, but for Booga, not only was he IGLing really well, but there was just moments where he was just fragging out as well. He actually had more damage and more eliminations.
Dude, that guy was
than
up
Braids.
1,000 surge,
So
then
I
went to
hate to
800,
see
then
Booga
went
really
back to
just
1,000,
stepping out,
1,200,
proving himself
and then
once
goes
again
to
for
700.
whatever
Like,
reason,
how does
Booga
that
has a clutch to
exactly
prove
make
himself,
sense?
even though he's done it time
That
and
makes
time
no
again.
sense.
So to just see him do that,
That
makes
literally
me
makes
feel
no
like
sense.
he's
Wow.
here to make his way into global championships.
Look, we didn't get to see the full potential of this duo, though, in Major 2 finals until day number 2. And that's what kind of gives me hopes about their kind of chance to go ahead and qualify to the global championship here today, because hopefully, you know, something clicked between day number 1 and day number 2 of those Major 2 finals. I mean, if you take a look at their games that they played in day number 2, it was a fourth, and a 6 kind of in the mix there amongst those 6 games that were played on day number 2. So they really figured something out there. They just have to carry that momentum here over the course of these 6 games, and I really do feel like they can qualify.
I have to believe, man. I have to believe in Booga until the competition is done.
Chat, also, I should be getting every single sprite from somebody. Sprite dust isn't a thing anymore. All your sprites are free. So you don't need sprite dust anymore. So if you have a lot, it doesn't matter anymore. So I should be getting every single sprite and hopefully doing a live on it. I just have to make a quick video to either see if the same guy's gonna do it for me or if I'm gonna have to find somebody else. But I know a lot of people that will give it to me. I just gotta share that to them. I'll probably make a video in a little bit asking.
Drop spots that they actually landed across the map over the course of those 12 games, and honestly, it was working very, very well for them. Unfortunately, though, since they are finding themselves in a spot where we're coming out of the finals, that strategy has obviously been revealed.
I'm actually gonna make a vid right now, seeing if I can find anybody. So after this, or maybe in the same live, I could like go do that. But I'm not doing it mid tournament. I would do it either. Nah, I would only do it at the end. Hey, chat, I'm gonna make that video. I'm not gonna see chat for a second. I'm not gonna see chat for 1 second. I should make it quick. All I gotta do is pop some text. I already have the picture, so y'all can just listen to the commentators for like a minute.
So we'll have to see what Moneymaker and Fryer kind of cook it up in the early game.
It'll be interesting, and you were speaking of their social media, and I was actually looking at their social media as well, and I've been noticing a lot of off-spawn practice that he's been asking for. So to see them just even putting that off-spawn practice in is a good note. I think that you probably are right that they might be sticking to one spot, probably a spot that they expect to be contested. However, I will say that they might be putting this off-spawn practice in because they may have put a little bit of a target on their back. As we might remember in the grand finals, they may have landed on a certain player, a player that might be a little infamous for attacking others and putting a target on their back when they, burden him. I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to put that out into the universe because I feel like that would summon him. But I think Moneymaker and F9 might potentially have a different issue to worry about than other players are.
It's true. It is true. Well, listen, we have more duos to talk about, but first, we wanted to take a moment here to breathe. Let's go meet up with your casters. It's Jacob PR. It's Monster D-Face. Say what's up, guys.
Thank you, Zeke, and honestly, hopefully everybody's having a great day. They're talking about teams that need to qualify, but there are 10 different roadblocks in this lobby in the form of qualified players to the Global Championship. 9 of them are already from NA Central, but 1 of them is coming from NA West, venturing into this region to try to get the most practice, and that's 7-time FNCS champion Epicwell, and by his side is Pump.
Dude, that guy looks unk.
Obviously looking for the best practice possible here, of course, in the region. But, I want to give a little shout, little note for people like Kanata and Oliver OG who have fled the region, right? They don't want nothing to do with it. They're going to be counting their lucky stars, though, Jacob, that Epic's not here.
Yeah, honestly, it was almost a 200-point lead in terms of the Global Championship qualification spots. Retro and Phoenix right there with them. But let's see what Epicwell and Pump have in store for today, Zeke.
That's the question, right, Monster? Because everyone is all looking across the board saying, look, guys, there's only 2 spots. We are all fighting for 2 spots. We have 6 games to try and make something happen. Okay, let's start to talk about some names we're going to be seeing here compete in today's lobby. Here's a look at some of the names. And again, if we just toss out some of these names, it's crazy how many are still looking to find themselves a seat on the battle bus. Got to talk about global champion Queasy and Victor V. So not only do we have NAC Kelly, we've got EU and now NA West pros all looking to compete here for one of 2 spots.
It's pretty crazy that we might live in a world where reigning champion Queasy doesn't make it into the global championships, and to see them get 11th place in Major 2 finals, barely missing out by 1 placement for those qualifications. You got to think that might have taken a big hit on their mental. And I'm going to be a little honest. I thought that there was a chance that they were going to split, but I am so glad to see that they didn't. And honestly, during the eval finals, I saw them have their height games that we know that Queasy loves to take, and it looked so much more polished. And not to say that it didn't look polished during the finals, but there was just moments for Queasy when he was taking height that he had to kind of sacrifice it a lot, and he would take it early like he knows to take. But that moments where I was kind of questioning them have gone away after watching the eval finals. It really seems like they're coming into this grand finals with a game plan.
Yeah, very excited to see if Queasy and Victor V can kind of clutch up here. That being said, I did want to go ahead and take a look at how well they were doing in Major number 2, specifically on day number 1. You can see it after game number 2, after game number 4. They were in that top 10, right? 5th and 7th place, respectively. After that, though, I mean, they had a pretty rough go. Like Kelly mentioned, 1 spot off that qualification, so they almost kind of had that comeback happen. But unfortunately, what kind of put up a roadblock for them was that some of their loot was getting stolen off spawn, surprisingly, after some of those games in Major number 2. And unfortunately, Zeke, I think that's going to be the same scenario here today. Hopefully, they got a game plan.
We just gotta hope, man. Globals without a global champion is just crazy. And this is Queasy. we are talking about. Now, we wanted to highlight two final duels for you, the Fortnite fam. Let's start with Dash and Noxy. We kind of wanted to get a wide look here of all the players up in the lobby who are looking to fight for these two spots. Can you maybe talk to us about why we should be rooting on Dash and Noxy?
Well, I definitely think Dash and Noxy have a possibility of making it into that top 10 contention that we're talking about, of what we might see the qualification spots go to. For me, they ended off day 1 for Major 2 in 8th place, which is obviously a great sign.
Okay,
Day
I'm
2
so
didn't
sorry, guys. I
necessarily
had to-
go
I
the
had
way
to
that
make
they
this
wanted,
video.
but for me, they
Trying to
went
get
from being
all the
contested
sprites so
from
then
Hangs
I
and
could
Curve
do
at
a
Lifty Lodge, and now they're
sprite
being
thing.
contested by Noise and
I could
Lakey
not
at a
see
more
the
central
chat.
split, so I
Now
think
I
that
can.
might honestly be the advantage they need to be able to climb
Gotcha,
up
I
the
had to make
leaderboard
the
just a
video.
little more.
Bro,
But
you guys are
more
on
so than
such a
anything,
big
what
delay.
really
I need
impresses
to
me
fix
is
it,
how
and
they
I
play the mid game or the mid
I
ground
don't know.
during the
I
end
think
game.
I made it
They
worse.
really like to stay front side of it, and usually in the end game we see a lot of chaos kind of going on the low and mid ground, but they played that game so calm and collected.
Dave, I
I
know
really
the
feel like with
OBS
just a
is
few
different.
more eliminations,
OBS is
they can
super
easily
different
jump
on this
into the
PC.
top of the leaderboard.
I don't have half
It's like
of
this
the
duo
things. I
though
don't
has
have
like an
any of the
Achilles
alerts.
heel. It's like that
It's
around that
probably
20th to
just because
25th
I'm on a
mark
hard
when the
PC.
lobby is still
But
kind of left
the
alive.
delay
If
is
they get past
super
that
high
point,
still.
they got
Like,
like
I
top
can-
5 every single
can
time
tell.
in grand
Very
finals.
high.
It's just something about
Like,
that little bit
the
of a
timer's
transition
at
from mid game to
139
end game.
here, but
They
then
falter sometimes, but if they get past that certain time
it's
frame,
at
they always do
224 and
super
here it's
well.
at 130.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like
Nothing
a-
but positive vibes
almost-
for the duo. We'll have to see. And
It's
keep
like a
up with them.
30-second
6
delay.
games to fight. Yeah,
Nothing
for
I can
just
do
two
about
spots.
it. I mean,
Final duo to
I can,
highlight
but I
here.
think it's
It's
because
Javi and
I
a finish.
feel OBS
Talk to us about
thing,
this duo. Do
but,
they have what it takes?
It's really
the delay is
interesting if
very,
you just
very
go back
high.
a couple of months at Major 1, how Javi and Aminish was kind of on
just at
everyone's
1
radar.
minute
They were
almost.
really able to compete with the
This
best of the best of
just
NAC
at
and
1 minute
actually
and
ended
50
off the
seconds.
Major
It's
in
literally a
6th
minute
place.
behind.
However, Major
a
2
minute
wasn't
behind.
necessarily the same story. They ended off in
It's at
16th
1 minute
place, and I think a
50,
lot of
and
people were
we're
a little
at 1 minute.
surprised, and not necessarily the
crazy.
underperformance, but where they just
Oh,
seem to be
that's a
falling a
shame
little
delay
short.
definitely
However,
went
it's
higher.
Javi and Aminish. We've seen them rise up
like
before, and I think they can do it again.
Unless I didn't
Yeah, without a
time it,
doubt. I mean,
maybe it was 1
obviously,
minute,
Kelly
but
was
that's
kind of
long,
talking about it. With
a
Javi
lot.
and Aminish, you can kind
I'll
of
have to figure
expect the
that out.
higher ground
I hate
placements out
putting
of
delay
them. That
on
being
them
said,
and
in a
not
lobby like
realizing
this, right,
to
where it's a
fix it.
Splash Dance qualifier, usually you start to see a little bit of desperation. Desperation allows some of these teams to be a little bit more willing to go for the wins, to go for the high ground, right? That win condition to the play style of high ground. When we talk about teams like Javi and Aminish, Queasy and Victor V, at high ground play style, I expect it to be very, very contested when there is so much on the line and a lot of pressure to ensue. Zeke, only 2 spots available, man. I know you like to get a little nervous before these games start.
Viv, I really do. Obviously, if it was up to me, we'd all get to play on the Global Championship stage, right? Everyone would be invited, but this is a competition at the end of the day, right? There can be only so many spots, and when you're fighting for not only a spot to go to the Global Championship, but then at the Global Championship to fight for the title of Global Champion, and one of the best duos in the world, man, it's gonna be crazy. With that being said, though, I am getting word. 6 games, only the top 2 qualify. Casters, take it away.
Thank you, Zeke. You know, Jacob, normally I feel pretty calm coming into games, but there's something about this last opportunity right now that's got me anxious.
I know, it's just one of those situations where 10 global qualified teams, 2 spots up for grabs. We talked about Major 2 being a cinema-esque experience. I think we're in for round 2 of that, the sequel.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough looking at how much competition there is. There's even these rumors going around now that if you thought you were safe, you just might not be, as teams have been deciding to probably switch things up here on the Fortnite world. So I think we're going to be in for some surprises, Jacob.
Yeah, we've already had some teams switching up their drop spawns. Ritual
surprises.
Cold,
Yo,
going
I'm
for
not
the
gonna lie, those
backwood,
all
all
spawns
the
are
way
gonna
up
be
to
crazy.
Latte. So anything is still possible with 6
yeah,
games
it's
starting.
7:15.
2
Here we
spots
go.
up for grabs. Let's jump right into the
Only
day.
6 games? Crazy.
Well, you couldn't have set the stage better for us. We get to see how this is all going to play out here for game number 1. One of the few teams to be possibly surprise contested here on the day. Victor V, Queasy, of course. You saw Magma and his duo landing just to the north of them. They're one of those few surprise duos looking to do something a little bit differently. As we also glance at the feed, you can
never
see
seen this
that
drop,
there is
bro.
already action taking place here, though, Jacob.
Yeah, so it honestly, Victor V, Queasy, even though they're not contested in terms of a 50-50, you can see Victor V kind of peeking out that window, looking up top. He still has to worry about Higgs and Curve as well. Even though they seem fine for now, they know they have their struggles later. Byla, yes, with Webster, the FNCS champion Byla that won with Peter Bot. Webster back-to-back qualifications to put himself in this scenario.
Yeah, really impressive play by Webster. He's just been having his opportunity, but of course, if you want to go all the way to the LAN event, it's going to take so much more. EU was honestly really surprising the best teams, kind of coming up short, making it even all the more curious up at the top for who was going to take a qualification spot. And they not usually kind of going in that direction, so we'll see who, of course, is going to be the best of the best. Nice job from Byla, though, a little sneaky angle here to give them the successful opener.
Yeah, Byla, sometimes you just need a little break, a little refresher. He comes back, and he's literally firing on all cylinders. Webster down low, a little bit of a struggle. He does have backup. The only thing you got to watch out for is the lack of shock. And Maraps tries to jump out, sneak attack, but it just does not work. Byla and Webster, game one, off spawn, they find success.
Wow.
Big win for them right there.
Good
2 eliminations, of course. These points are going to add up. If you can go the distance, I mean, all the better for them. Jumping over to Ritual now. Here's a player who, of course, has been very much contested all season long. He's kind of been in and out of different scenarios. This time, though, he's coming on over to the Latte landing. There's something about this drop, Jacob, keeps attracting more and more teams.
Yeah, we saw Veno and Agers in Major 2, triple contested to uncontested as the tournament went on. And honestly, looking at it, you know, if you kind of look at the Vital Scrims drop map, it was supposed to be uncontested. But I knew today there's so many tricks up under players' sleeves, because if you don't make it here to the Global Championship, in essence, your FNCS is over. So Ritual, game one on the line, hits the shot that matters to get the knock.
Just insane. How can you count him out? Never sleep on the young Ritual here. Give it a second, though. Now he's got to win one more fight. He didn't actually get his full finish. I'm not sure how I feel about that. He could have totally used the mats. This puts him in a little bit more of a desperate situation, but he's already evened the playing field a bit. Oh, and the res is going to go off. Okay, things are definitely not going the way he expected them to.
Oh, perfect angle, though. Window there, so there's no wall to block him off. Cancels out the res. So even though he didn't land a ton of damage to really take down the shield, he's just buying himself time here to try to continue to make a move. 5 shots left. Is that a third party coming in? Because that was a big shot on the Ritual.
Yeah, a couple tags coming from what looked to be the coastal area. It's a
They're
really
just trying
rough
to get
spot now
third.
for him, and here the comps going out
6
there trying to
HP.
cancel the,
Throw the mist,
pick
throw
up
the
there.
mist, throw the mist.
He actually did it just in time.
Come on. I'd have threw the mist and try to get like a peek.
Little prolonged.
Got the mist, bro. Don't forget about
uneasy
that.
about this situation. It is a 1v1, but O's sit on the outskirts. The bang shot coming in. Ritual dropped down to a sliver of HP, but surviving for a few seconds longer before he's eventually taken down. But even though he wins this fight, his teammate goes down. O's sits by himself. I don't see his teammate anywhere. You got to think he's probably on the outskirts, just west of Latte.
He crouched, hid.
All the shots go
He
down.
wasn't
He's
looking
trying to
for
take
you,
full
or you could have
advantage
killed
of
him
the
on like
situation
the
right now.
right side if you crouched.
In the end, it plays out well for Osid and Vert here, who end up securing Elin the points, and now the drop for themselves.
Because if you throw the mist,
A
you can barely
bully
see.
ball here for the
Especially
location.
if you're not in the mist, you're behind it, and he's at least like 10 meters, like 10 meters away from
Already
you.
game one, proven to be a lot of action to kind of
You just
start
have
us
to-
off.
you
Cyclops
have
the
to
first
sprint.
down
You
the
can't let it
back
sprint
to
so he doesn't
back
know.
to keep himself alive. And Cyclops is one of those duos, him and his teammate, that you typically do see towards the top of the leaderboard
Got
in
the
the
mythic.
open stages. They just need to be able to pull it together here in these finals lobbies.
See a little bit from Veno and Agers. Love to watch their play. Veno, interestingly enough, coming out of the Major 2, did talk about his experience in general. Just saying that, hey, look, I went in with no game plan other than survive the drop. But now that he is not exactly contested, I'd assume they're going to be much more prepared to, of course, make some money this weekend and maybe even deter some teams from pushing through. Who knows what's up his sleeve?
It's one of those interesting decisions because it's not only about the last chance here, the global championship as well. So you're seeing teams just trying to condition the surrounding lands, not only against other global championship qualified players, but everybody else that is in these lobbies, you see a nice bird's eye view from Veno and Agers, even though they're a little bit separated for now. So Encrypted and H-Cube can, in theory, pick Agers and go, try to take the 2v1, but without that information, I'm not sure it's going to be a possible play.
Just surprised Veno didn't come this way. You saw either Batman, Bugha taking down Carillion already as the fight kicked off. Curve was the one who got the initial knock there. Now it's just time to wrap things up. Really nice to watch players like Curve continue to surge in confidence, really flexing his fighting capabilities, leading for the controller demo right now. Oh, yep, there it is. I said it. I was surprised he wasn't here already. Well, he had other business to attend to. Now Veno shows up.
Yeah, he's kind of doing all this by himself. Look at the mini-map. He just kind of ventured outward. He's probably hearing the same things you are. A possible chance for Surge. 20, 30 is better than nothing, and he returns right back on up. Can't stray too far away from his duo. Put yourself in a solo situation, but you see him kind of shockwaving on over. They landed a little bit of damage, and that's what gave him the green light to go.
Almost caught HP there, reading them very well. It was a shock to give, of course, the stamina boost. Cryptid, H-Cube, opting to play a little bit of low ground right now, just trying to wait this one out. Veno and Agers have such a lead over them when it comes to materials, heals, and everything else. The zone's right on top of them, so Veno and Agers already having the damage lead, it seems. Just makes sense for them not to stick around too much longer here. Maybe give up the advantage that they have right now. Surprised. I'm actually surprised they actually get to this first two, by the way. This is, of course, a battle.
Teammate has no shield and
key
yeah, okay.
upgrade to the weaponry.
About to say, you know.
You can almost see why HCube and Encrypted were kind of stayed down here for as long as they have. Kind of swap positions with Veno, Agers and him kind of finally reuniting on the down end. So they're not only going to get some heals, but like you said, a huge upgrade with Mythic in hand. To jump back on board Higgs and Curve. Even with that first elimination, Jarku's doing a good job of stalling out and buying so much time. But you look at all the resources Higgs, Curve have in them. This is going to need a lot more time. I was going to say Jarku almost needed a miracle to stay alive. But now that Batman, Bugha, and Curve got those eliminations, they essentially cleared out the whole top side of Lifty Lodge.
Say, depending on how much is in that chug, I'm not sure how much he actually needed to use heals there. That might be a massive, massive come up for them. We'll see how it plays out. Meanwhile, word is Rapid is solo dolo. We'll see how that plays out right now.
Wow, Clicks is dead. Dang.
I like that coming out from Rapid. He's solo. Instead of just kind of sitting and waiting, he's trying to be progressive every step of that way. Not too many players nearby, so you got to imagine Clicks is going to make a return. Chris Allo just trying to push Barney out of their POI, and you see in the distance, he is a solo. That's because Chris did get that first elimination, and it's all about the small victories kind of building up and kind of leading to that momentum charge. 6 games, you got to be able to remain consistent throughout it all, and that way you don't have to play catch-up on Game 6.
Sinister strip action here for Peterbot and Pollo. You know, we've kind of gotten like mixed gameplay. I feel like mixed signals from Peterbot and Pollo from their mid and early game plans here on the Region Major 2. I feel like they had a little bit of a tough time figuring out and finding their identity. I'm curious if this is going to be a part of the strategy going into Globals as well. Are they going to be more high ground, kind of Surge Tower playstyle like this, or we're going to see that dynamic kind of floating around Peterbot and Pollo?
Definitely interesting decisions to see which basically version of Peterbot and Pollo we will get today's tournament. Good chance for practice, where Global is not too far away. But with competition being different, all depends on how serious you actually take it. Scare and Tyler moving in from the southeastern part of the map. They get there just on the edge, but you can kind of see the zone pulling further and further away towards the western side. So they know their rotation is not done just yet. And when you kind of get stuck in a cycle like Scare and Tyler, where it's max pull after max pull, in the back of your mind, it's always going to be Storm Surge.
Surge is really tough to difficult to deal with, especially when you're under a difficult rotate. Love the usage of these early shockwaves, mind you. This is really telling that they're willing to kind of put it all on the table, use it, as opposed to potentially losing it, trying to greed for a foot rotate. And you can see so far, it's actually cost them a lot. They've kind of expended a bunch just to get this far into early game.
It's almost a must for them to hope that they're above that damage threshold. As you said, resources are dwindling, but for King and Craze, almost the exact opposite. Landing over at Calamari Canyon, uncontested, by the way. They immediately try to build up on one of these mountains, and now they get blessed with zone after zone here. You can kind of see as Storm Surge activates 546 above that damage threshold. So honestly, just no bad peaks is all they need. They don't even necessarily need to get greedy for more surge, but they have a huge bird's eye view. So all those teams coming in from the north and the eastern side, they're going to get all that information on them.
Yeah, this is crazy to be a team that kind of lands in this western area and then have the zone pull directly this way. I mean, it's going to force some serious congestion on the east side of the map right now. Javi and Aminish, another strong team positioned up there. You see Noxy playing that high ground. These are teams that really need these opportunities right now, but getting into more dominant Sphinx and Curly. Sphinx has had his runs, you know. We've seen some greatness out of Sphinx, but right now we're gonna have to see him really step it up here. Surge is about to become a problem for the lobby. You can see the relocating of different duos already happening. Love to rotate from Cooper and Reap, but a lot of metal being used right now. I wonder if they're sitting on a refresh. No, not exactly. So that was just a desperate enter in. And again, I'm talking about how teams are using these very crucial materials, you know, shockwaves, etc. It's because the surge is coming. And look, they're so close to it, right, Jacob? You might as well use it. They can't afford to really get tagged right now.
Yeah, and you can kind of see it from one zone to the next. As the 5th zone closed, they were, what, 100 and something above, dropped down 279. So even though they might be fine now, if you're not progressing in that Storm Surge and you do get those max folds, you'll almost certainly be fighting with that line. And I think that's why they expended so many materials. Rather have no materials, be above the damage threshold, than the opposite, losing control over your own game plan. And you're kind of seeing the different playstyles for some of those teams. Some kind of making it a priority to rotate into the zone early. Others, like Bugha and Braze, they play more lax game. They get in, play the zone, and they just kind of use whatever's available at the time.
That's a lot.
Yeah, the difference is they actually have some damage to work with, though. Look right now as they pop the med kit. Actually just had a team slip past them. It's Osid.
Yeah, hopefully I'll get right tonight and maybe I can do a live tomorrow.
A little trick right now, what they did is, you notice they shockwave into the rift, right? People are thinking, that's nothing. They're just trying to get to the rift faster. No, now they have the overdrive effect. Because they didn't touch the ground and went straight into the rift, these guys can actually cut their glider and not take any fall damage at all. So while others are worried about when you're gonna glide, maybe cut it early, they have 0 to worry about in comparison.
Such an excellent tip there. Looking at Queasy and Victor V, what have they learned coming out of Major 2? Last we heard, they had a bit of a tough time working around the duos that were effectively stealing loot from their loot route.
257, not bad.
Weekend seems to be the exact story with Magma and company very close by. Obviously, we all have high hopes for Queasy. High hopes of Victor V, who's just been popping off in recent times. Definitely one of the more exciting duos that we're going to be looking at here, but can they remain up at the top and be one of the 2 best that need the qualification spot? Hold that thought though. Curly and Sphinx, we talked about looking for greatness. Well, they found some elims there, Jacob, but not a lot of damage on the team on the other side. They could still very well be in trouble.
Yeah, especially since Sphinx did open up and take one of those shots. We kind of see as the dust settles, 120 above. It's enough to kind of smoothly move past this zone, but in the next one, that's when you might have a little bit of worries. You see them fall to 86 above. Void, G-Money, 35 below, and it's active surge on top of that. They're going to get a moment to breathe. They immediately dropped to 69 above, so they're not going to take any active ticks, so they get a chance here to heal, which is imperative if they want success in this game.
Tough spot to be in, but excellent amount of heals to kind of go the distance.
They went
already
from like below.
Rotates are going to be forced out though. No shockwaves in sight, so this is a pretty difficult rotate to make. And talk about difficult rotates. Victor V lost on the move here. They did find elimination, but now they're below the surge, and Queasy's left as a solo here. You have H-Cube and Encrypted already moving in pretty quickly. Queasy with the ambush strategy there. Great tag. Can he clutch it up right now? We've seen Vic do these kind of clutch moments in the past as the fragger of the duo, but Queasy is now forced to do everything by himself here. Can he fight for his tournament life here in game number 1?
Just one shot is all he needs to connect. He cannot let this surge activate. You see one shockwave running out of builds, no way to out-heal this, and a full team in front, Yuz and Sharkman, that are now looking back and putting their focus onto him as the zone just pulling further and further away. This is a max pull, and this is a moment for him to breathe. 21 above, so no current damage being taken, but look how far he has to go. Look how many players are now in his path.
He's already getting zapped once there. You saw it, so that means when he made that edit there and popped the shot, it did not connect. But since then, he's found a little bit more damage. Things are going back in his favor. Hey, if nothing else, can you go the distance and earn a little bit of placement points? That is the next question now. Even here, he's got the dead side of the rotate, but visuals and threats were already having that high ground, kind of recognizing there was a potential player in here on the outsides.
Ooh.
Pressure's on.
Yeah, this is just tough. 160 plus below. Quickly looks back, lands a couple of shots, but still 122. And even if he somehow gets above the damage threshold, he needs resources. He needs an elimination. Booga and Braids on the other side go
dead.
down outside
200
of
down,
placement
wow.
points. So only eliminations would be their score after this game. As Queasy goes down as well. Storm Surge is going to be forcing his hand to fight after fight, and eventually leads to his downfall.
Yeah, I think he earned like 2 placement points there as 25th just came through, so not the best.
Peterbot with a mythic, but
Peterbot
only
boy on
has
the other side.
58
5 eliminate. Oh, hold, wait a second. Sorry. 7 eliminations, Jacob.
Just completely mowed him down with the mythic Warforged AR, Sphinx and Curly. It's just you're seeing once you get these max pulls and you start to fall below the damage threshold and you even choose to out-heal it, it just gets exponentially harder. See visuals, threats building on the high ground. Underneath them, Epic Whale and Pump. And in the mix as well, it's Veno and Agers. They have 1 elimination, and so far, you can see what it's done to their game so far.
Yeah, definitely running a bit light there. Threats and visuals play for the high ground very early right now, but there's no one else even close to contesting them, and they have a lot of loot to work with here. This is the kind of position you want to be in right now if you're looking to solidify your way straight through to the LAN event here. I still see big teams in the lobby, though. Kingaling down low.
Yeah, I think
Praise there. Veno and Angers trying to make a desperate rotate here, getting caught kind of on the way there. Angers falls first. Team inside the box. Zonda gets hit with 1. Veno misses the 2nd shot, and the Storm does the rest. All he's got to do is wait now, and he'll get that siphon here shortly. But instead, he goes on the hunt. Nicely done for him there.
Yeah, just really wasn't able to grab all of the builds. Just gets the siphon from the metal, so only 3 left. But he is headhunting right now. Batman Booga goes down, separated from Curve, and there's the refresh you need. He has a decently full chug, half materials, and in position to steal away more points.
I don't know what it is with Veno right now, but he has been playing some top-tier Fortnite lately. Meanwhile, Virgo and Shadow, there's a lot to be asked of this duo here. They've been having a bit of a tough time in these types of set lobbies. As we talk about that, it's Veno who's the one putting down the punishing shots here. Now he's looking up for high ground. Why not? You know, why not disturb everyone else here in the lobby? Probably what he's thinking. There's another siphon that goes through. But look at this. No one yet has given threats and visuals any resistance up top.
Yeah, just seeing all this chaos down below. You can see even Epic Well and Pump kind of feeling what the pressure of the lobby is doing. Not a lot of material split between the two, but at least they're on the front side. A chance to look back and find any opportunities. On the flip side, though, Peterbot and Poyo coming from the other edge of that zone. It's even forcing them in moment by moment, but Veno is still going off. This is why you can kind of see him as the elimination leader in back-to-back majors.
I'm sorry, he's just different right now. He's just handling the NA region. I hate to say it. Pump and Epic Whale on the other side, coming from west. Back over to Central. We highlighted their ability to perform. We want to know, what are they going to be bringing to the region here? What level of play? Well, it looks like it's some exceptional play here, to say the least. This game one's looking very well. Meanwhile, back, of course, the Peterbot and Poyos, they're popping off here. 9 elims for them. Veno goes down. The high ground, though, still completely uncontested there.
Yeah, you got to imagine the lack of materials up above, but Pump gets taken down as well. Chris and Aloe trying to control the tempo down below. And even with Pump going down, you can see Epic Well still alive. He's trying to get as many of those resources as possible before Pump actually goes out and back to the lobby. King and Craze, similar position, one stuck as a solo, just trying to get the most out of this situation because he knows with the zone pushing in, he has to shockwave in.
This is when you know you've been on high ground for a hot minute. Threats has got barely any bullets left. He started it with about 300. Meanwhile, Peterbot and Pollo, they are really practicing for the land right now. I think they're deciding intentionally that they're going to play this mid-ground and really run up the numbers here, see what they are capable of, and stay in the action. And I love what we're witnessing. Peterbot's going to finally fall there to the hands of Epic Whale, but Pollo is still up and running.
Everyone's playing phenomenally from the World Cup, just for all the years he's put into this game, still finding success. But Pollo, he is the current reigning clutch champion in my book. Done it on land and figuring out a way to try to do it here again. Most of the lobby right now is stuck as solos. Epic Well as well with only 4 builds left. In front of him, a whole duo right behind. King is going to get that elimination and make it that much easier to get into the top 4.
Yeah, King's definitely one of those ones that you don't want to fight in the box here. And this is where he, of course, performs best. But Pollo does as well. Pollo finds one. King's with a powerful shot in exchange there, but their focus needs to be on threats here if one of these surprise solos want to win the game here. All of a sudden now King takes the fight up top. I think he also recognizes that they got to do it. Pollo's smart. He goes up, 1 mat left. The build gets broken. He's going to be able to clutch this. Wow. He can hit the shot here, but no! It's Visuals in the end, and Threats who will find the final tag.
I told you Threats was going to win. They got high
early as they took high ground, lack of materials. Other teams shockwaving up, but
before the leaderboard. I'll be back whenever the leaderboard comes back. I'll be back whenever the leaderboard is back.
Visuals and Threats. 6 games for today. One of them's already in the book, Zeke.
Oh shoot, I spelled that wrong. Hold on.
Kelly, this felt like the most nonchalant game of Fortnite I feel like I've seen in a long time. I'm so much more used to like the crazy, chaotic solo clutch. Everyone's jumping in each other's boxes, replacing walls, finding eliminations. And Visuals and Threats, they're just like, 8th zone, guys, we have height, and yeah, we'll just go ahead and walk away with the win, I guess.
And that's not to say that there wasn't the typical chaos that we're used to on low and middle ground, but usually some of that transfers to height. Someone tries to steal it, and then there's some kind of trading. Other people see that, oh, height's available, maybe I'm gonna, and then that kind of snowballs into the chaos that we can see for high ground. But yeah, no one looking up. Visuals and Threats just easily controlling that all the way from first moving Vivid.
Yeah, kind of surprising. I mean, we did see a couple of high ground teams. We saw Epic Whale and Pump kind of poised up to potentially fight for it, but they went ahead. They weren't interested. Peterbot and Pollo, obviously a team that goes up for high ground a bunch of times as well. They were not up there in the mix, so Visual and Threats were feeling pretty comfortable up here. That being said, that comfort kind of ran out here in this last couple of moments because Visuals was left as a solo with just 70 HP on the back foot of Kingling, doing a lot of damage to the duo, but the shot is hit from the low gun when the advantage was all Pollo's. And I thought we were going to get another one of those moments from Pollo, but unfortunately the odds were against them right there. But a great game number 1 for Visuals and Threats.
Viv, I was ready. I was ready to yell solo Polo, and it just didn't go that way. But again, it's fine. Everything's fine, right? We still got 5 more games of Fortnite. Remember, some players are playing for prize money. Well, there's only 2 spots for the global championship, so everyone else is looking at those like, please, we need to find ourselves in that top 2. But for now, a short break. When we return, we'll take a look at the standing, kind of see how things are going, and prepare ourselves for game number 2. So don't go anywhere.
I'll go here. I'm popping med build. Wait, choke. Got 6 build? No, max up.
Wait, if you're mid, wait.
100! 100! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Milk can help you grow. Milk can't prevent your ride from blasting into space.
I'm back.
Fortnite fam, welcome back to the FNCS. This is the GC Last Chance. This is the final opportunity to earn a spot for the Global Championship, where only 2 spots are on the line. It's crazy. Game 1 went the way of Visual and Threats. Nice little high ground. You know, they held high ground from 8th zone on, led them to a nice little win. Things are going well for them, but obviously we have to take a look at our leaderboard, see how things are shaking out for every other duo. Remember, again, and I'm going to keep saying it, there's only 2 spots available moving forward. After game number 1, though, Peterbot, Poyo, Kelly, we find ourselves here once again. Peterbot and Poyo have already broken into triple digits after just game 1.
How is that even I mean, no, never mind. How is it possible? It's Peter and Poyo. That's how it's possible. They do it time and time again. And like the caster said, we thought that we were going to get that solo polo performance at the very end, but just barely missing out. However, Peter and Poyo looked really strong, and they even looked like they're potentially going to be going for high ground in this game, but kind of ended up sticking to the middle ground, which obviously worked out in their favor. They were able to grab so many more eliminations, sticking to the mid ground, didn't really have to worry about too many people trying to attack them. And with that, they're now in first place in the top of our leaderboard. Vivid?
Yeah, that's the Peterbot and Playo game we are used to seeing. 13 eliminations to go ahead and start the day off, and you did go ahead and mention right, MDF was kind of calling it out. The first time we actually saw them throughout this entire game, I think it was an 8th zone. They already had 7 eliminations, so they just did such a good job, even prior to the end game, just finding so many of those eliminations. But once these guys get to the end game, we know exactly what is going to be happening. Just all about those elims once they get into the mid ground and get a little bit comfortable. And Poyo, man, he put himself within grasping reach. The opportunity was there for him to actually go ahead and pick up this solo clutch. You could see visuals with one of those shots when all the builds were kind of falling right there was probably the decisive one. But a 2nd place and 13 eliminations for Peterbot and Poyo, man. You gotta love to see it.
I think it was MDF called out earlier on in the game that there's some players here that are definitely looking to kind of get some practice in before the Global Championship. Peterbot Poyo is likely what's happening here.
So
2nd place Visuals and Threats. We did see them pick up game number 1. One highlight here, Epic Whale and Pump. After just 1 game, you know, we have a 5th place, 5 eliminations to kind of start off the day. Pretty strong start, and I mean, they are looking for a spot, right, Kelly? So if we can keep this consistency going, if we can maybe just pick up a few more eliminations or even aim higher than a top 5, we could see them qualify.
Yeah, and similar to what we saw from Peter Bon Pollo in that end game, another team that kind of looked like they might have been staring at height a little bit, but sticking to the mid ground. And they definitely had a lot less mats than Peter Bon Pollo, so it makes more sense that they would stay in this position. They weren't really in the front side of mid, they were kind of staying in the back. And once again, that kind of worked out in their favor, able to get placement points, and Epic Whale also able to get just a few more eliminations. And obviously, people like to say that NA West is a lesser region than NA Central, so to see Epic Whale being able to come and represent the region
I mean,
so
it
well,
obviously
it's
is.
exactly
You
what I
guys
want to
don't
see
even
with Pump, of
cast
course.
West.
So
I haven't
good
seen you
start
guys
from this
cast West
duo.
one
Yeah,
tournament.
very good to see Epic Whale back on the big screen here for NAC specifically. And it was actually the first time we get to see him in quite a long time. It was actually a solo clutch for him, right? I think he went into that one as a solo around the 10th place mark. He went ahead and picked up that 5th place. So Epic Whale kind of proving once more, hey, listen, still a top competitor no matter what region he is playing on. And I mean, very excited to kind of see what Epic Whale and Pump are going to kind of prepare for the Global Championship.
Love to hear that. Let's talk about another duo, Kingling and Craze here in game number 1.
Bro,
Again,
they're gonna
this
show
is just
leaderboard
game
again?
number
I
1,
didn't
right? We
see
have 5
clicks.
more
I'm trying
games.
to
We
look
kind of
at
like
the
to joke
leaderboard.
sometimes. Game 1 is like a feeler game, right? We
I
go
wanna see
in, we see
highlights
the meta
from
within the
one
meta of the
minute, and they're probably not
competition.
showing it again.
But Kingling
That's
and
crazy,
Craze
bro.
have a
They're
pretty
not gonna show
strong
it again.
showing out of game number
Only
1,
1
right?
minute and
Like,
30 seconds.
again, if we can just keep that consistency, if we can keep that momentum, Kelly, we might see this team qualify as well.
You know, out of all the teams that we have already qualified for the Global Championships, besides maybe Golden No Zone, I feel like Kingling and Craze are one of the duos that a lot of people don't give the respect that they necessarily deserve. And when these guys go on a tear, they are absolutely dominating. They're players that can easily go up against some of the biggest fraggers in 1v1s, even 1v2s. So to see Kingling and Craze not only make it to the end game, but also have a good solo performance as well, is exactly why they're not only in 3rd place, but also a contender for the Global Championship spot.
Yep, 3 duos currently rolling that qualification spot down. You see Peter Bon Pollo up there, Kingling, Craze, and then Epic Whale and Pump. So currently in 5th place, actually, we would have that qualification spot, but again, 5 more games to play. Agers and Venom, though, in 7th place. Man, listen, after an incredible run in Major 2 finals where, you know, they had this opportunity to be, not this opportunity, but this full 3 kind of position from an all spawn situation where triple contested at their POI, but they still made it work. They still played incredibly well.
Is not
so good to kind of see them back in action here. That being said, I mean, it was just Veno in form in this game here. You can see Agers went down quite early.
Can y'all show like
down
top
to Veno
15,
as a solo
20?
to kind of keep things rolling, and he did just that.
I mean, there's not too much more to say there, Zeke, and if I'm not mistaken, there's no much more time to talk.
There isn't, Kelly. There isn't. Games are ready for us. I said something dumb. Don't worry about it. I just zeked it up. Don't worry about it. But that being said, game number 2 is just about ready for us. So why don't we kick it on over to the cast?
Let's go. Game 2.
You know, Monster, from Major 1 to the Summit to Major 2 and everything in between, one thing I've learned is time flies when you're having fun, and game 1 flew by quickly.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, the eliminations are definitely carrying the action when it comes down to the mid and the late games. We'll see how things are going to go in the early game, though. We saw some surprise battles happening. I think the biggest upset for sure was Ritual and Cold situation in that early game, Jacob. So I am curious how game 2 is going to play out.
Yeah, I think Veno and Agers kind of taught us that in Major 2. Just because you claim a drop spot doesn't mean teams are going to necessarily leave triple contested to start the day. Hopefully they can make up for it here and really show that changing drop spots, especially before the actual global championship, is worth it at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have very few chances to play this level of lobby. So here with the game 2, let's jump on that battle bus.
Games are flying by. This is game 2, and honestly, I wouldn't
Game 2, here we go.
necessarily say that
We watched
anybody's
Glitch a
drop
little bit this
spot
game.
is safe.
I'm
with
trying
this
to see how
being
many points he
the
has so I can,
literal
like,
last chance
yes.
to keep your FNCS alive and continue on to the global championship. I feel like players today, every single duo needs to leave nothing on the table. No regrets when it's said and done.
Yeah, definitely can't leave anything on the table, Jacob. This is their last opportunities here and now. And hey, look, with one game down, it's gonna go by faster than they even expect. Either way, though, we have to take a look at what's happening here. Cold, once again, being the first to take a little bit of damage here, getting slightly bested on the drop, but overall, they seem to be in much better shape than game 1.
Yep. See, on the other side, though, they're just kind of push forward. Not even wasting time healing up, just trying to get as much information as possible, lurk around. They do have most of the POI underneath their control in terms of
67
positioning. Cold
crazy.
getting
Yo,
spotted
please
out,
take that out of
information
your name.
being relayed over, and
Please
that could
take
be their
that.
chance to hit a
Please take
1v2,
that out
but
of your name.
without actual eyes on Ritual, that's what keeps them guessing.
Yep.
Got a
Russell's gonna
tag
get
on
that
Cold,
first
not
opening
bad.
tag there, but nothing really truly connects there. Either way, this is gonna force things to stall out a bit here, but if you give Cold and Ritual too much time, they don't get their situation sorted. It's only gonna be worse for them later. Meanwhile, you see Vert not too far off in the distance. They're surely gonna be coming back around here in a couple moments. There it is, Cold initiates, big tag here. We have Pryor on the run.
Oh, they're
Gonna be
fighting.
able to get away. Okay, he's moving though. He's gone. He makes
I
it
think
to the
Cold
roof
is
here.
gonna win this.
Cold and Ritual start getting tagged up now. Ritual gets the finish there.
Yeah.
Like, if
Yeah,
only if he
Cold
would
is
have had
gonna
some
win this.
help.
Cold is
See
gonna
his
win this.
teammates shockwaving away, taking too much damage to start the actual
Chat, I
fight.
think we're getting
He had
all
no
the sprites
choice,
right
but if
after
he had a little
this.
bit of help,
Should
he
be.
was doing a good job of fighting back. But those third-party shots that
Should
you were
be.
alluding to, finally coming
What
in.
time's
that's
this
gonna slow
tournament
them
ending?
down and
Y'all
just
know?
kind of
Y'all know?
refocus
10?
Ritual
9?
and Cold. We won the fight. We can't chase
I'm
for the
guessing
solo,
10?
but there's still danger and
Or
risk
I'm
all around the map.
guessing
So right before we
like
jumped off there,
it's
though,
already
Magma's
8.
team
They've
started
only played
lurking
one
on
game,
that
but then
duel as
also they
well.
take 15 minutes before
Meanwhile,
game.
Leno and
So they
Aegis here
started around
controlling things
6:15,
at the
and then
Battlewood.
and then
Chance
like
right
they
now on
talked,
the run alongside
commentated for
Madden.
like another
It's gonna be some really
5
big
minutes,
damage for them
maybe
here to
10.
kinda
No,
kick this
like
thing off.
10 minutes
Saw
because
last game they ended
the
up
thing,
rotating pretty
the wait
far
time was
west,
3 minutes,
playing the
and then
coastal
they
area,
talked
ending
for
up in a
another 3
fight.
minutes.
A little bit of a
That's
skirmish
16
against
minutes
Aegis,
without
against Duo
gameplay.
potentially.
Yeah, I would say like 10,
Flexible,
9,
they end up playing
something
this one
like
out.
that.
Meanwhile, jump into a couple of highlights here. Liam, no veer in sight, finds a huge shot on Tiago.
And he's a solo. Wow, that's crazy. Yo, I would rush this kid, but he doesn't know. Oh, come on.
Actually finishes Josh
2v1,
off as
crazy.
well. What a little chain of
A7VN there,
eliminations.
bro. The
Yeah, I feel
Oregon
like
man.
Josh
Let's go,
Young,
bro.
so more so
Need
playing
money.
to make sure
Go
Liam and
Liam.
Veer don't qualify to the global championship. One less team to worry about, especially on a drop spot that they are contested. Doesn't necessarily work out this time. 8 good points for Liam and Veer. And they're a team that we've had seen shines of greatness today. We're going to see shines of greatness from them from Major 2 as well. And even before that, they just need to be able to put it together. Still 5 more games, including this one, as we continue to look around the map. 81 players
Yeah,
still
there's
left.
still
This one's
5
a little
games.
bit more
Like, that's
active
a lot.
than we have seen in that last game.
Eliminations are surely picking up here. 8 full duos taken out. That Peterbot and Pollo, though, their early game was very interesting. We saw them kind of set up in that massive metal tower. And I was thinking we were going to see a little bit more of a passive play, but I don't know who's calling the shots. When they ended up, wherever they ended up in the end game, they were popping off. They didn't even bother looking up to high ground, though, which was really interesting as well. They surely had the material to do so.
So probably same plan as usual. Go for the Warforged. Don't stray too far off. But Higgs and Curve, we saw it for Major 2. They threatened to potentially go for this Mythic Pistol. And right now they're taking the fight. Victor, V, and Queasy. With a not a solid performance in game 1 for Victor, V, and Queasy, it's almost a make or break moment here. They need to be able to survive this and get deep into this game, because having 2 mistakes, 2 bad starts to the entire tournament puts your back fully up against the wall.
Yeah, and even though they didn't finish the fight, what I really respect about Batman, Booga, and Curve right now is that they have the withal to know, hey, this is Victor, V, and Queasy. Our ambush didn't work. Let's get out of here. We respect them that much. So it really just shows again that Batman, Booga, and Curve's game plan right now, they have a bigger picture. They're trying to play for the LAN event that is coming up. You got to respect, again, teams that are willing to, you know, put it all in the line right there. But Victor and Queasy have a much different fight in front of them. They need to qualify, of course. This is a pretty wild tournament, right? When you really think about how everyone has something just different at stake and just much different game plans.
almost feel like the way this is almost going down with the way King and Craze are playing, the way Peterbot and Poyo, they go down there, get the elimination, they dodge Smiley and Max, but now they're getting the scraps of whatever's left on over. So it almost seems like a situation here today with some of the rollout spots kind of affecting the lobby, where you have that mental game where do you let these guys kind of run around the lobby, get their eliminations, and you kind of escape with placements, or do you try to join into that mix and get some eliminations of your own?
This is just a make either way. Up and down to the cluster coast. I think another western zone hole too, by the way. Rets and visuals are the ones here. Still can't believe they were completely uncontested on high ground last game, considering how many teams need to be playing for the 2 best consistent spots in order to make a LAN event. If you're not playing or putting up high ground performances like that, you can kiss the opportunity goodbye. Or so good for them here. 6 med kits. Already know
My
the
bad,
strat.
chat. I'm back.
We're gonna
I'm
be
back.
here for a
I'm back.
while.
I went to go get something. I'm back. My bad.
Checking around the
What did I
map.
miss?
Slepsy's
Hopefully not a
wagers in the
lot.
distance.
Hopefully not a
Smiley and
lot.
Max kind of rotating
Let's see,
through.
let's
And
see.
then Money, Maker, and Fanayan. 6 points so far. Probably a mix of placement, elimination, or just full placement in that last game. I know Vivid kind of broke it down, what they did in Major 2, how they lurked all around the map. I think I saw like 5 different drop spots in that pre-show, and Fanayan saying that's not going to be what we're going to do in order to qualify for the Global Championship. We have to play more of a sound game, and I think so far for these first 2, it's the game plan that they're sticking to.
Yeah. And I'm kind of bummed to see them go a little bit more of a traditional route. They were definitely keeping us entertained, how dynamic they were playing. Dash and Oxy, a team that of course is very much experienced with set lobbies. There's a lot of work cut out for them. Also only earning 12 points in game number 1, so not the best start for them, but better than being zeroed out.
Even though it's still relatively early, but when you kind of see that
Bro, I'm
slowing down just a
I
little
was
bit,
breaking.
a good chunk
I
of
saw
the
like the
teams at
team
the
leader from
Battlewoods, you
chapter
almost
3,
just gotta
like
hope you're
they give so
enough
much
above the
detail, and I
damage
can't tell if
threshold
it's
so that when we
them
start to get into
or
the
like
moving zones, the half and
what,
halves, that's when
because
you
there's
start to
no
make your
way
play.
they're spending that
Let's
much
see a potential
like
lurk setting up
art
at the
into the
Battlewoods,
POI.
but you
Like
see
I just saw the
constant
team
action
leader,
all
I
around.
just saw
Osid
fake
invert that lands
like
just
dummies. Like
outside
it
of
actually
this
looked
Mountain of
cool.
Latte.
Y'all didn't
They
see
have a
that.
couple
I was watching
options
them
here in
break
terms
stuff.
of
I'm
teams
like,
that they could potentially try to focus on, but they just got to be careful because they themselves have to rotate the zone
I hope
after
East
this.
is coming back,
It's
but
those
I've
shots,
also
though,
I don't think it is.
importantly, in Osid, the missed 2
Everyone's saying
pretty
like
important
East
ones
might
right now.
return very soon because
Curly and
I don't know,
Sphinx.
bro.
Ones that
I'm not
barely
gonna
get
lie.
away there.
Everyone's saying a lot. They're saying it's gonna be solo
Dash and
FNCS, it's
Oxy
gonna be
here.
trio FNCS, it's gonna be
Scrappy
duo
fight
FNCS.
taken out.
Everyone's
Seems
just
like
saying a
against
bunch of
Adam.
things. Everyone's saying
Oh,
the
gets the
20
best of Dash.
ping is gonna
That's gonna
happen,
set
but
them
I don't
back
think
big time,
everyone's
by the
20
way.
ping yet.
Don't think they got into any scraps before that.
They're literally
so
just saying
losing
everything.
that much
Like,
damage
hold on, I'm gonna count it on my fingers. They
surely
said
gonna end up
FNCS,
catching up to
either
them. We'll see
trio,
when the Storm
solo,
starts
or
giving out
duo.
the
They said
warnings.
they said everything was gonna be 20 ping, or they said everything,
Yeah,
or
this
not
year it's tough.
everything.
Like I was
They
talking
said
about,
everyone
Battlewood
would
getting
be
so
20
crowded.
ping.
They're in
I know that
actually
hasn't
one
happened
of
yet.
the
And
buildings,
then people are
so
also
they're not gonna be able to
speculating
get too
East
much
is coming
surge
back,
from
but
far away
they
in
also
your
said that a
normal
year ago,
surge-based type
and it
scenarios,
never
which leads
happened.
me to believe
And a
if
year
you do
ago, it
want
was
surge here
actually
and now, if you do
a
find
year
yourself
ago.
below
It was more
you might
confirmed.
have to
Even
go and take that
Aussie said it
rematch
at the last
against
pro-am.
Matt and his
They were
duo,
talking
the
about
ones who
East,
kinda
and they
landed
said
that
it
big
would
shot for you
return.
in
But
that scenario
then
in the
it's been a
first
whole
place.
entire year.
Icy,
There's been a
okay,
whole different
56
pro-am,
points.
literally. I'm
Kind of
talking about
within range
the
of
first
that
or
bubble.
the
You can
long
kind
time
of probably
program.
hear the shots being fired
Yo,
off. They're
did you
looking in that
get
direction, or at least for now.
the Gem Zero?
61 of these players have
Gem
the chance to
Zero. I don't know. I
qualify
don't
for
know.
their first
I don't know.
FNCS
I'm
LAN
getting all the
tournament.
sprites
See it
after stream,
there.
bro. Or I might stream it,
Love to
but
see
after
it.
this tournament.
So
I'm getting
much
all the
pressure on the
sprites.
line here. Great little opening tag there for
I got
Decay,
so
by
much
the
of
way.
that.
Straight onto Psychotic.
There's a lot of speculations, and then
No
you got
time wasted
GTA
here to
coming
jump
out.
up on him.
I've heard a
This will
couple
be a
people
great
say
job
it's not
picking
gonna be
Psycho,
good,
by the way.
but
No
I mean, I've
whites in his
also heard a
loadout,
bunch
so
of people saying
it's
they're
all
gonna
up to
play it.
Icy if he's got
Like I
charge
heard
up the
Clicks is
chair.
gonna play it. Nick A30, even though he's family friendly.
Just trying to
And then
see
that's
right
not
now that
including
DK and
like
Icy, I know we talked a little bit
kids. I'm talking
right
about famous
about Epic
streamers.
Will and
Blake
Puff
said he was
coming
trying
on
it
over
for
from
sure.
NA West. They won Major
Nick
2.
A30, and I
DK,
know there's
we
a
know
couple
him
streamers
for
I'm
this
missing.
region,
I'm
Central
pretty sure
East, depending on
Ninja
how far
would
back you
play
remember.
it.
Icy is an
Cypher
actual
PK would
NA
play
West
it.
player.
I'm
He's gotten
sure.
second in divisional
And these are
cups, and
famous
now
people,
we're
which
seeing
means
him
famous
at
people
the
dragging
top
out
of the
people.
leaderboard, at
I'm
least
sure
inside of the top 10 for
Oatly
game 1.
will
They're
probably
hunting
play it.
for
I'm
eliminations.
assuming.
They're hunting for that
Like, I
storm
think
surge here. They
if
realize
Fortnite
they're
does
taking
not
way
bring back
too much
East
damage.
or
10
make
HP for
the
DK.
game a
They're
little better,
immediately trying to charge their
it's
way
gonna
over
die
to that vending
whenever
machine,
GTA
and they
comes.
get there literally
People have been
just
waiting
in
like
time.
4 years,
Oh,
6 years.
is
for
there
that. I don't
really
know
enough
how long.
time? We'll see
Something
if
like
Icer
that.
can get his med kit off there before the other team pushes him.
Good luck.
Because they're
Thank you so
also
much,
coming in pretty quickly, needing the
you,
same exact thing, and they read the feed. They
Yeah,
recognize what's
you
happening,
don't get
and
you don't have
this
to
is
pay
not
for
good
Sprite
at
Dust
all.
anymore. So
Decay
I just
is
got
going to be
someone
left here,
I'm
while
gonna
Ace
give
and
it
Dark
away.
don't even worry about the thirst, by the way. They
But yeah, I think
know
Fortnite
that they gotta
could be
stop
cooked
this
because
player from
everyone's
healing.
gonna have to play NA Central. Like I'm playing NA
Chances
Central,
here.
like,
That's
which
slowly
is
but
not
surely
bad.
going
It's
out the
good
window.
ping, like
DK
20.
actually
It's
did
not
go
even bad.
down,
20, 30.
so it does look
something
like
like
it's
that.
going to be Icy all by
Still not
himself.
bad, but if East was back, I'd
I'm
be
not sure
zero.
how much actual
Like,
HP
full
does have
zero.
left. He's almost going to need a miracle. No extra
And I know
gold,
a lot of people want
76
East.
below the
And if
damage
East
threshold.
did come
The
back,
odds are all stacking against him, even though you see it kind of alleviate a
would
little
be
bit from
more.
76 to 47. That's just other teams getting active, and it returns right back to normal. 20 seconds
But then
or
again, they're
less is
taking
all
out
he has to make
West,
a move.
and I don't think they want to take out West.
You know,
I think
now
they
that I
want
about it,
West
actually, if
Central.
Dark or
I
Ace
think
here were the
really
last to do
what they
damage,
want is
obviously
they
get
want
the
West
elite
Central
not the
and
race, that's
East,
the
and
telltale
they don't want to
sign
get
there.
rid of
Oh,
West,
look at this,
even though they
Icy.
don't. Even though they
Okay,
don't,
monster shot
like,
onto Dark.
bro,
Not
they
enough
don't
to
do the
actually
broadcasting
get the
for
full
West,
clutch
but
here onto Ace,
they don't
unfortunately.
want West
But had he
leaving
got
because
the
so many
siphon, he
people
would
have
have been
said
in a fighter's
take out
chance
West
there.
or
Either
East,
way,
and
Ace
they
and Dark
haven't. So
come out
it
ahead.
seems
They
like
needed those
they
points
just
there.
don't want to take out West. You know? I think it's also
quite the
helped
fight.
that Lacey played West
Definitely was, and it's
FNCS,
just one of
Baxley
those
played
fights for Icy and
FNCS on
DK.
West,
You
and it was
get
easier,
sent back to the
and
lobby.
they got a
Things
lot of
happen in
viewers. I
6
think that
games,
helped.
but
Not
you
for
start to
East,
go
but I
ahead and
think that helped
question
for
the
West.
mental composure
Like,
for
Lacey
some of
was
these
playing
teams,
on
and I think
West,
this
so
is a
then
team
he
that you
1v1
really
people
start to
on
have
West.
to look at.
Like,
Going down
Baxley
here
did
to is
a
Encrypted
cash prize
HQ. They don't
what
land
a
too
bunch
far
of
from
West
Lifty
players,
Lodge, a little split drop
and
just south of it.
it
And
was
they're one
like
of the
whoever
first
won
teams to try to
gets,
make
like,
it
on the
up
top,
that
and
mountain.
only
They know
West players could
elevation
do that.
helps
I think
tenfold,
that also kinda
especially
messed up
with the
East a little bit.
possibility of the zone
But
going
a year
up and
ago they
down
said
these
East was
zones
coming back,
in the
and
moving portions of the
we
game.
haven't seen like one dent for that.
Concerned
Haven't
if
seen
I were
one
them.
dent.
Agers and Veno right below them. They
There hasn't been anything said after the last pro-am. The last pro-am, we got a lot of information. I heard a bunch of people saying they were going to talk. I also heard a year ago Flix was talking to Epic Games, and then he said like there's no tournaments every week, and then a week later they added tournaments every week, but that was a year ago. And he also said add East, and they did not add that, but they added the tournament, which is just very weird. Which means like it's hard for it to come back because they listened to Flix about the tournaments, but he didn't listen to Flix about East.
So it's gonna be
like,
unfortunate,
they're
but they
gonna
actually
listen
go
about their
straight
tournament, but
into
they're
the
not gonna
tunnel
listen
instead of
about their
shockwaving
region.
over towards the left, towards Battlewood.
And this was
Just
all
on
a
the
year ago.
eastern
There
side
really
of
hasn't
this
been
zone
much
is a little bit
information. I
less
know
crowded. And just kind of moving up all the way
going
on the southern
to
edge.
talk
Remember,
to
we're
Epic Games,
going
but
over towards those Lifty Lodge mountains, so even if they get in the
If it was
zone
coming
here,
back, it
it
would've
can
been a year ago.
continue
There
to
was so
pull
much
towards the
information.
north.
All the
633 above the
pro-am
damage
was
threshold, though.
saying
Very,
Flix
very
talked to
little for
Fortnite
them to
directly
actually worry
asked
about
for
other than
East.
just staying healthy.
You know, I don't know. I don't see it.
Great shockwave so
And then I
far.
also see Trio FNCS, but then I hear from Ozzy and think that's not going to happen. I don't believe that. I think there is a chance for that to happen. I know Solo FNCS is confirmed, but that also seems really weird. Simple fact that the last Solo Cash Cup, everyone really hated it. So,
Downtime here,
like,
kind of figure things out.
not understanding
600
that at
damage
all.
above though, plenty to
So I
work
don't
with.
know what's happening.
So on the feed
The
there,
new
Rapid
season's
actually
gonna bring
just
a
took
lot.
down Zonda on that rotate too, mind you. So
It's
Rapid
gonna bring a lot.
still putting up
I'm probably gonna
numbers
have to
by
change my
himself.
POI.
Meanwhile,
I don't know if I'm gonna do
getting
Div
back to
4
the- how do they
anymore.
go for a fight in the bush is never
I don't know
what you
if
wanna take. And
Solo's
Invincible
gonna be
do anything
fun.
big, unfortunately, can't. He falls. The
It's
chance
gonna be
to tackle
hard.
there. That's
What
gonna
it's
end
gonna
their
be.
momentum, and that just
I
shows
think
you
it is
fast
possible
things
that'll
can
be
change
easier
at the
though
top.
because of the
From
fact that
77 points now,
it's
put
all
directly
relying
us.
on you. You can make
Coach
your
Strong
own plays. You don't have to
contestant
like get a
isn't
second
always
opinion.
everything. You get
I
one of
think
the
that does
farthest
help a
pulls in
little bit,
all of the
especially as an
lobby.
IGL.
not able
as
to
an
really
ideal.
plan
I
for
was
the
playing
search.
ideal, but then
See, it leads to their
outside,
downfall. King and
teammates
Craze trying
were
to do
like,
the
they were
exact
also
opposite. From
ideal.
Kalmar
Like my
Canyon all the way
last
towards the
teammate,
north,
he was ideal too.
514
But
above that
ideal/dragon,
damage
they
threshold.
did
They've
fine.
elevated themselves pretty well here to
But
continue
then
to put
also
down
the
pressure.
the
Diego,
downside is
Ultra,
nobody's
almost looks like
talking.
Peter Pot
Like,
Pollo
I'm
in the
gonna
mix
be in
as well.
Twitch's stream
All of
trying
them
to
being
like
distracted.
hear
Peter Pot
him
falls clean
because
up
I'm gonna
as
be
well.
so bored
Ultra's down.
playing
So
the
again,
tournament that
another
I'm gonna.
situation where
It's not
Pollo's
even gonna
left as a
affect me
solo.
having a stream open because of the fact that I don't have
that
it.
rotate. You
But
saw
then
that
like,
he had
who
to
do I
move
watch
with the
that's actually gonna be
herd
talking?
towards the
The
end, but
Twitch
he had
supposed to be
plenty of
talking,
shockwaves,
but
so
not like
actually more
a
surprised to
lot.
get eliminated there. Either way,
It'll be interesting.
they find themselves with 4 eliminations. Now
I know
Pollo
Fortnite does
closing
have
in
to cook up
potentially
though
on
because
some
you got GTA 6
placement points
coming,
here.
you got
Extra
Madden
shockwaves picked up
27
there.
coming
Excellent
out,
job, especially
which
considering he's full recap on
hopefully
material.
it'll be good. I don't know.
He is
I
still
have
in this
26,
game,
26,
very much
27.
so at the moment.
And I think NBA might have a new
I was actually
NBA
looking
coming
for
out,
where
but that's
Higgs
all
and
around
Kurt might have
Christmas
went. They kind
time.
of got
I
this
know it's like
favorable
all
zone
around
pool
Christmas
here.
time. But Fortnite still has a
Haven't
lot
quite
of
seen them
time.
just yet in the action.
I hope this new season
Gotta imagine they gotta be stacked up
didn't
on
take a lot of
materials, but
time,
looking
and
at
they
the
were
feed, you see
working
Ritual
on
down,
like for the
Magma
Christmas
taken down
time.
by Coop.
Like, I'm
A lot of
hoping
focus
this
on the
kind of
backside of
spend
zone for
time on
Pollo.
this
Just
new
trying to
season, but
figure out
also
a
like
way
spend time
out,
on
'cause
other
you
things.
have to continue moving
I'm
forward.
just
You're
hoping.
already seeing a
I
couple
can't wait to
teams
see what the
start
new
their
season
rotation
brings. I can't
ahead
wait
of
to
them.
see.
And
Like,
as
I'm
a
gonna have
solo,
so many
that's gonna
videos.
put you in a
I'm literally
tough
gonna. I'm
situation,
gonna
giving
actually
teams
try to
luxury
post
to
so
look
much.
back
I'm gonna
and
post
spot you
one
out.
video saying if I'm Div 4 or not. I'm gonna make a video talking about the loadouts. I'm gonna be making a video. Like, there's so much content. I truly think this new season will be good. I don't know where the live event is, and I'm actually gonna take a quick second. I'm gonna go ask something. I might not go live for the event. I might not even play it. I don't know. I have to go ask something.
Here.
But
He's thinking
give me
about
one
making
second.
a move right now, but they're 85 below, so still needing to get active here shortly. Let's see if they can find some damage here, find themselves in trouble.
Yeah, step one of that journey is just get as close to the front side of the zone as possible. Give yourself time to wonder where they're at. Pre-edit does come in. Queasy and Victor V actually do get separated them for a moment, but they fly above that damage threshold by 31. They don't want to take an ill-advised shot. One shot can immediately put them on the back foot. And while everybody down below is distracted, Slepsy and Wagers have took it upon themselves to take height early.
Which is wild because with Victor and Queasy still in the game, you know they're thinking about timing it, but this is such an odd zone. Veno, Agers kind of fighting their way through the mid-ground layer here. It's King and Craze who now have attracted their attention. Could be a big mistake for Veno though. It's a reason King and Craze are highly regarded as one of the best fighting duos here on the region right now. Agers, Veno kind of back off, probably sensing a little bit of danger. King knows better to let his guard down though.
Yeah, I think the fact that they didn't really land damage goes to show that they might be fighting somebody that's just a little bit too early in the game to be taking that risk. And we're going back up the mountain just a little bit south of Lifty Lost, Lepsy and Wagers. They took high ground early, and if they're not going over recycled builds, they can easily try to look down on all the teams down below, get them to expend their materials as fast as possible. They have the Spire, 50 in the clip. You could spray for a long time, especially if you do have two.
The way the zone's kind of pulling weird like that, it's costing them a lot of material. Slepsy's putting like 4 cones down every time they move a square forwards. That's gonna end up catching up to them. Meanwhile, Kingling and Craze, they've kind of slowly worked their way up and over this mountain here. Kind of, I'd say probably second to third height situation right now. They have a lot of options to play with. Meanwhile, Booga and Braids already picked up another elim, but they're out of material. They still need a refresh here. Down to low ground they go. Shots coming in from the side, nothing to protect themselves. Dash and Noxy find a great tag there. It's all up to Braids now.
Yeah, and you can see with 0 materials, he does have the 2 shockwaves, but that comes with a risk in itself, flying through the sky. Slepsy Wager still up top. We have Agers, Veno climbing that ladder, and a few other teams as well. Pollo ran out of builds, similar to Braid's situation he's in. Just trying to find any nook and cranny to hide. Zone kind of opening up to his benefit, allowing him for a couple of extra seconds, shockwaving up, trying to take the fight to them. It all comes crashing down, but for Pollo, he's not able to land any game-defining shots until now. He gets the knock on the Craze, but he can't clean any of it up.
Okay, I just got confirmed I should be good tomorrow. I have to leave at 5 tomorrow. I don't know what time the event is. I'm gonna try to look it up right now. So I'll be
that's enough for
AFK.
them to work
Hopefully
with
nothing
something.
big
Folio
has
is
happened.
just
So far, I see
insane
Dr.
with the
Peter Box
reaction
dead. So
speed
Peter
there
Box dead. I'm
and
so
the
sorry. I
accuracy to
was
back
talking for a
it
little
up.
bit. Now I
To
have
the
to go
front side he
search
goes,
the
but
video
again,
up,
he
see if
needs
I
an
can find it,
elimination here.
and see
Can
what
he
time it
find
is, and see
another?
how long it'll be.
Yeah, there's
It will
9
probably be
different
only like
solo
30 to
players
an
all
hour.
stacked in
So
this
I'm gonna
lobby,
search it
making
up real quick,
easier for
figure out what
Slepsies and
time it is,
Wagers to
and I
breathe.
should be
Assess
live
the
for that tomorrow.
situation. They're not
I'm gonna be
going through
more
what Venom and
energetic, chat.
Polio are
I'm a little
going
tired
through
today,
on the low ground,
but
which is
I'll be right
complete
back,
and
chat. I'm gonna go
utter
look it up right now.
madness. Does look like Curve is going to be able to take down Shadow. Polio just grabbing scraps before he gets to the front side of zone. That's a big shot onto Curve, but immediately forced back down below.
Look at this. I think he knows there's a player in front of him inside the cone. That's a weird place cone that just finished building. We'll see if he ends up going for it. F9's end up falling there. Moneymaker gets finished up too. Venom just watching from the backside of zone here, recognizing, okay, there's a team up top. There's nothing I can do about them. They seem overly positioned. He's going to have to force his focus down low. Polio finally falls inside the top 10 though. And things are now going up this very weird terrain here.
Yeah, this one's going to be a nightmare for anybody involved, having to make it up that mountain. You even see Yuz, Sharkman trying to get the elimination onto Outlook, but they have no shockwaves to create that distance and move their way up that ladder. Veno finds another elimination, back-to-back games, Monster, where he's going on an absolute terror in these lobbies, even sneaking his way through one of many solos in this game, but that run is eventually going to come to an end, but I might have spoke too soon. Yuz goes down, Sharkman's still alive, but Veno's the one putting on the show.
And again, he's got all that extra little bit of info, right? He already read the zone perfectly, a top 4 for him. He's just clutching up at the end of the day. It is so impressive to watch what he is doing. Wagers and Slepsy, meanwhile, by the way, that high ground, perfect. Their only elimination that they need secures them the win now.
And surprising enough, in back-to-back games, Monster, we have a team take high ground early and nobody look up. Nobody try to contest it. And so for Slepsies and Wagers, they just kind of cakewalk their way into a Game 2 victory royale, Zeke.
Okay. That's the kind of chaos I was waiting for. That's the kind of chaos I live for. Man, oh man, some crazy clutches across the board, but to see them pick up that victory royale, again, we're trying to look to qualify, or maybe we're trying to play for money. Slepsy, Wagers, we've got momentum, right? With 4 games left to go, we got to make something happen. But again, Kelly, we love these moments. We love those moments we get a victory out. Just instills so much confidence in the duo.
It's very true. Although it's interesting you say that that's the chaos you want to see, because in game number 1, you were talking about how there was just no chaos for the high ground. And that was kind of the same situation that we had for this game right now. I don't know if everyone has neck injuries and people are just having a hard time looking up. I'm not too certain what is going on right now. But for Wagers and Slepsy, just chilling on height from first moving and doing a great job controlling it. But of course, there was
Chat, I'm all good for tomorrow. Chat, I'm all good for tomorrow. Starts at 2 p.m. Right, there's no way a live event's 2 hours, bro. There's no way. So yeah, we're chilling.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll be live tomorrow for
for
the live event. I'll be live for the live event. Okay, let's see what I missed, bro. I probably missed a lot. I haven't been here this entire game pretty much. Oh my gosh, I was trying to figure out time. I forgot about it. I was supposed to ask, but totally forgot. Who just won?
How?
Oh wow, nice.
To control the
No, that's weird.
Without a
That's
single elimination. Listen,
that sounds
Wagers,
weird.
I am so happy for you guys, but I am calling out everybody that's playing in this lobby. Gotta start looking up, man. We got to start looking up.
I did not think they were going to win out
a
of
lot
all
of the
people.
players are just kind of looking to fight, right? Like even like Veno running around super low ground kind of was the only one who maybe tried to make that play for height, but I agree, Vivid and Kelly.
Yeah, bro, no one's going for height, so the people that are taking advantage of height are going to win.
We'll take a look at the leaderboard and something a little special for you. We'll see in just a moment.
Special. See what it is. I wonder what that could be. I'm kind of curious now. I'm kind of curious. They said something special.
got healed. Right, we're low. I'm popping in med bit. Wait, choke. Got 6 build. No, max up.
Wait, if you're mid, wait.
100. 100. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I think I gotta turn the game down. That's how should be good.
Milk can help you grow. Milk
Oh, they got
prevent you
ads on
from
here.
blasting into space.
Like this is Fortnite. We should not be having. Yo, what is this? Like, bro, they gotta add something where you can like pay to not do those ads. Crazy. Why is this music? What's that? Here we go, game 3 coming up soon.
Fortnite fan, welcome back to the GC Last Chance, the final opportunity to earn one of only 2 spots going to the Global Championship. It's gonna get crazier. Game number 2, went the way of Lasy and Wager. Again, kind of similar sort of game number 1. No one was looking up on height, and they just
I know,
walked
Height's
away
gonna
with
be
it. So
crazy.
shout out to them.
Height
VR is
going to be
awesome.
crazy.
And
Nobody's
it's been
looking.
called out. We need to maybe start looking
You have
up.
to, like,
Okay, everyone
look.
in the lobby.
I
start looking
said
up.
it last
Now,
game
I did
that
mention something special
whoever
that
was
in
on
just
height,
a
I
moment.
forget
First,
who it
wanted to
was
highlight
gonna win.
these
And
standings for you. Let's take a look
it
at
was
our
close,
leaderboard, see how
but-
things are going just
yeah.
after 2 games. So, whew, Kelly, I talked a lot there. Peter currently in the number 1 spot still.
A lot. I'm still not
Oh,
seeing
that was
clips.
it. Okay, sorry. I thought you were going to
Okay,
keep
I
talking.
see
You know, I'm just so used to
Batman
you talking.
do
I
the,
thought that this was a show for me to watch.
his
No, AJ
big
and Venom
season 9.
jumping up into 2nd place just below Peterbot and Poyo. And honestly,
You
that
know,
was definitely
definitely.
on the back of Venom. Another solo performance from him. And my goodness, was he showing up in that game. But of course, we have some other names jumping up. Lasy and Wagers, the winner of that game, jumping up all the way to 4th place. And just looking at the list right now, Vivid, it really looks like a lot of our top teams that have already qualified aren't going to be, I mean, besides Peterbot and Poyo, aren't going to really be in the top of that spot. So it might be some names in like our top 5 that qualify to global championships.
You did kind of see the importance of keeping it consistent, as we did see visuals and threads kind of drop down a couple of placements there as well. But like we like to talk about, still 4 games left to play.
That's right. So the special thing, we're
Yep,
coming back to that. So
that's what
first
they
off,
gotta remember.
massive shout outs to production.
So,
They put together
they
a
were
really
good
cool leaderboard
gameplay.
for us. So that first leaderboard we just saw is like maybe a little confusing sometimes, right? 'Cause you're like, hey, I'm watching this, and I know you, Zeke, you said some people qualified, but it's hard to tell maybe who has or who hasn't qualified. Timmy, look what production built just for you. We have a leaderboard that is going to show us just the players who are looking to qualify. So when we look at this list, just take a look at the top 2. These are removed all the names who have already qualified. So
Okay, let's see
A2
this.
and
I'm trying to see this.
Lasy
Oh, this
and
is the
Wagers
surprise.
currently fighting
Okay.
for both of those spots.
Bro, I still don't
Kelly,
see clips.
kind of going back to what you said, up to 14
Bro, I still don't see clips.
places off of just a 1
I
game.
can't
This
be
is huge
blind,
for the
right?
duo.
And I mean, look at how close we are. Yes, it's just 2 games, but to just set the story, I mean, 97, 96, 94 points between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th
I'm not
place. And
even
we've
seeing
seen
one
Yuz and
match
Sharkman really kind of show up for the first time kind of in Major, too. A lot of people looking to this duo to potentially be a new shining star as far as our newer teams go. And to see them once again have that opportunity, that contention of getting into the Global Championships, that's just what I love to see. And now getting a quicker look at Yuz and Sharkman and how they performed in that game, really seems like they're one of the teams that does like to stick to low and handle that aggression. But of course, in that chaos, eventually you're going to go up against someone like Veno, and that's just a rough situation.
Yeah, I mean, Yells and Sharkman having a great game number 2 here, 3rd place with just 2 eliminations. We're starting to see some of these teams that are not necessarily qualified yet struggling to potentially get some of those eliminations. We know that can for sure be the difference maker. With that being said, right, we do see a bunch of teams up here. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at some of the other teams who are kind of further down the leaderboard. They've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, man. Again, and look, you called it out, right? We still have 4 more games left to go. 17th place, Booga Braids. Man, up to 23 places after the 2 games, right? But just like you called out, the job's not done. We do have 4 more games to try and make something happen. It's going to be an uphill battle for sure, Kelly. But look, we still have 4 games. And I want to continue to harp on that because you can make anything happen. As Fortnite has showed us in the past, anything can.
Yeah, for sure you can make anything with 4 games.
Listen, they already went up 23 places after that last game. If they just do that again, they'll be in first place. So I think that there is, you know, maybe not first place is within their grasp currently, but there is still a lot of possibility, a lot of opportunity if they kind of just end changing up their game plan. Unfortunately, once again, Braids a solo. I believe Booga was a solo in game number 1, so them just not being able to stick together in these final moments seems to be the big hitch in their armor.
I love coming back here to first page again. So once again, just a massive shout out to production. Appreciate y'all. A look at the players. Again, we've removed the players who have already qualified. They're still here. Don't worry. They're still
I'm not seeing clicks, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna try to find out where I can find the leaderboard.
Here out of you know, just the 2 spots available. Dash and Noxy, you know, again, we're gonna continue to watch these numbers on that left side, not the placement, but the one right over. 9 placements up for Dash and Nox. We talked about them at the beginning of the show. With 4 games left to go, friends, where do we feel like these players are at? Or we feel like we need to maybe try and target some consistency? Kelly, do we feel
in Asia,
like
bro, they love that shit. They love it, bro.
Go all in with only 2 spots? We gotta make something happen? What do you think?
Oh, gosh, you know, I'm not too certain for a lot of these players right now. They're going not necessarily just against themselves, but against the lobby too. So it's not necessarily what can they do better, but what is everyone else doing around them? And with these one-day formats, you don't really have the opportunity to kind of be reviewing. Hopefully their coaches are reviewing currently, and they're going to be able to give them some kind of lead, some kind of idea on how to change up their strategies if they are kind of in the lower part of that leaderboard. But again, it's a one-day tournament. There's only so many changes these players can make confidently.
The struggling thing here for a lot of our teams, the thing that's going to be frustrating is that when you take a look towards the top of the leaderboard, actually the non-qualified teams are just playing so well. They're the only teams that actually pick up a victory royale so far, with 2 of those teams kind of winning those first 2 games. I mean, HQ have been encrypted, 114 points, Subscene Wagers, 97 points for them as well. Listen, these are the teams that are supposed to not be doing all that well, right? It's supposed to be this race. We kind of talked about the qualifying spots, potentially rolling all the way down to top 12. You got to be top 4 right now. So it's going to be super frustrating. All of these teams just have to play super, super good.
So true, man. And I love that you call out the players that have already qualified, right? That's going to continue to impact this leaderboard game to game. With that being said, the next game is ready for us. Game number 3. Casters, take it away.
Here we go. Game 3.
I love the way you broke that down there, Vivid, because you just broke it down perfectly. The non-qualified teams are the ones winning the games here, Jacob. It's like history repeats itself. And history, talk about EU, just finished. It's the non-qual teams popping off right now.
And honestly, you could kind of look at some of those teams that you know that already have their spot. They siphon points away from the rest of the lobby. Even though there are certain instances, it's really leaving it into the hands for the teams that need that global championship to have a consistent 6 games. And with 2 games already done, if you're one of those teams that are a little bit further down on the leaderboard, you might need to get a couple more eliminations. You may not need to get the actual victory royale, but you need to start working on closing that gap.
Yeah, no one at the top at the moment has played perfect Fortnite. Everyone has had some little bit of mistakes. Again, with 2 games down, though, we get to jump in here for game number 3.
Opportunities for the global championship are flying by. We're almost halfway through the tournament and 2 spots up for grabs, and we've already seen, you know, some drop spots being switched up, triple contested, other spots that were supposed to be uncontested coming into this game, and with those roll down spots in effect, it's still anyone's tournament to win and qualify to the global championship.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have the leaderboard open on the side. I will be paying close attention as we start jumping into these rounds here. back on over to that good early game action, though. Ritual and Cold here, of course, are going to be one of the teams we're going to be looking out for. Again, although Ritual and Cold were off to a much hotter start there, they're still very far down the standing so far here in the tournament. Just 4 points earned. Not something we're really used to seeing, but this is a big upset right now for Jace. Jace, who had just jumped up like 20 or 30 spots in the last game, finds himself eliminated early here to the hands of Ishu and Dozier.
Yeah, you can see Skittles just trying to do what he can, farm up just a little bit. That way he can play for piece control. Doesn't get it there, but does land one shot. The numbers game is what's going to do a little bit of those mind tricks. I'm not sure if they actually know where Jace is at, and Skittles uses that to his advantage. Catches Ishu slipping.
Off spawn at Chop Shop.
Yes, it's pretty tough. I mean,
he
if you're
chopped?
Skittles,
Because
they
he's at
went
that
from
chop.
44th place in
Give me
game
1
number
second,
1
chat. I'm gonna
to
throw this away.
second place right behind it. So a huge jump for them to kind of stay and find their way into this tournament. For Dozier and Ishu, I mean, the story's the opposite. They started off very strong, then had a tough contested fight there in game number 2. So this fight right here means everything for these duos.
And you can kind of see both of them being very, very weary. I saw Dozier kind of look towards the backs, and then a whole nother team are out there. And if you see in the mini-map, somebody's already swimming across the water to get a flank onto the Chop Shop. So I think Dozier maybe 1, 2, maybe even 3 steps ahead of the rest of the competition on this side of the map, because he realizes as a solo, there's a huge amount of pressure on him to survive.
Yeah, definitely. Especially after game 2 being the first team to get eliminated. You don't want to end up in that situation again. Jumping in with Sphinx and Curly, who are at 28 points. Just a foot in the race right now. Haven't really been able to hit the track going to get far here. Last game, they fell before the placement points were issued out, meaning that they had a bit of a tough time with the Storm Surge in their mid-game rotates. See what they can do here, Jacob, to kind of patch up their gameplay and take it a little bit further.
Yeah, just kind of hoping for them and maybe other teams that land around this side of the map, just to ease up pressure where those zone pools continue to kind of see who gets the farther pull out of everybody. And kind of look around the map, Peterbot Poyo. I'm not sure why Poyo has a little bit of HP missing, but it's also no worries for them either. Uncontested drop. Thing about this here is now that they have access to this mythic lance head pistol, if you go ahead, rescue the dog like he's doing, he's not worried about the shield and HP, because all you have to do is give a little pet. Everybody loves a puppy, everybody loves a dog. Just give him a little pet monster and you get full HP and shield.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, this is the person who's deserving most of it. For sure, the MVP of the tournament so far. There goes that HP coming through. And, you know, he's got the mythic rifle as well for good reason. We'll see how far they end up pushing it this go around. Oh, look at this, though. Wagers. This is a terrible position to be in. Okay, I was going to say, you go from obviously winning your last game to now being targeted, potentially pinched there, but gets out.
You know, Dozier's just getting chased by Moneymaker and Fanayan. A lot of teams probably hearing, knowing that this is a contested fight right out of the gates. Probably looking at the feed, realizing, wait, only one of each team actually got down. This is their chance to move on over, and that's a chance that Moneymaker and Fanayan have.
Good shot.
They get that elimination there, but most importantly is the surge, easing up the pressure on their game here early on.
Let's see.
Listen, I'm going to say something, this might be controversial, but Moneymaker and Fanayan are the most dangerous duo to be around. After you saw what they did in the grand finals with how much strategies they had for 5 different locations, you don't think they know how to lurk on every team nearby them? You're crazy. I'm not going to be feeling comfortable at all if a duo like them were near me. That's for sure.
Yeah, but this is what doesn't make sense. Everyone, but like, this is what doesn't make sense. Rapid did horrible last time. I mean, horrible. Like, people thought he was doing something because of the fact how bad he did. I mean, I don't know. I haven't even seen clicks. That's the problem. I saw him die the first game, and it may be because I've been AFK looking at a couple things, but I mean, I don't know. They really haven't shown him, so I don't know. I saw him once solo clutch, but besides that, I don't know. And it could be because of the fact that I was figuring out times, what time the live event is, figuring a couple. I was literally doing a couple OBS things while at the setup, just trying to get everything ready for tomorrow, because I want everything tomorrow to be smooth. Because tomorrow, I'm adding a couple things to the stream. I'm making it look nicer. I'm trying to get my OBS fixed because right now it is not fixed. It's like I have to restart my OBS basically, which isn't hard. I have all the basics down. It's not playing? What do you mean? I'm so confused.
Looking for them. They got a team kind of off on the side. Carillion, they've already won that fight in
How?
first game 1. Kind of going back to that initial outskirts rotate strategy.
How? It's just not
We'll see that
queuing
the
in.
zone itself, it's kind of impacting a little bit of the decisions teams are making. You mentioned game 1, they actually fought. The zone
What?
was kind of favoring that direction. Game 2 as well. This time with it pulling further and further away, it's kind of in the back of their mind, something to worry about. His Wagers by himself. Slepsy just getting eliminated, so some extra time on the reboot card, but for Neo and Sinetto, they know he's here, hiding in the cone, and that's why he's immediately breaking out, trying to build some extra space, give him some room to work with, because he knows surviving against Neo and Sinetto are not going to be easy. Continuing pressure from up above, they're getting him to burn through his materials as well, almost 300 mats left.
Yeah, I mean, being the leading duo, like for Wagers right now, that's the unqualified duo with the most points right now. This is perfect for everyone else if they go down here, but if Wagers manages to slip away somehow or clutch up here, I mean, this is going to spell disaster for everyone else. But it's just not looking likely. Neo, Sinetto are so healthy here. They have so many different ways they can play this. The zone's going to do the rest. There it is. The clock just ticks. And Wagers goes down. And oh, salt on the wound there. The dance moves coming out of Sinetto there. Just to really remind them what the situation's looking like here.
Dang, so I just got confirmed that Flix isn't even playing. So possibly he could be doing the Lasy strat. He could be doing the Lasy strat. Because the Lasy strat is he was at Streamer University. He couldn't play the tournament because they were giving away awards. So he had Drew, his cameraman, play for him and ready up. He cannot play. So nobody can play. They can ready up as Clicks, but they cannot play. Which means, yeah, literally Clicks cannot play. Like, if someone else is readying up for him, he cannot touch the game besides ready up. He cannot loot up. He cannot mat up. He can't do anything. And if they catch that, I think that's a bannable offense. I'm not doing it on mobile, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, it just depends. If he's moving, then it has to be Clicks. And if he's not moving, it has to be Clicks. Or, no, if he isn't moving, it just has to be someone readying him up. Like Lasy did. Lasy was at Streamer University. He couldn't play, so Drew just readied up for half of it, and then Lasy came back for half of it. What Clicks might do. Wow, Liam died. Huge.
Gets a good amount of damage on the Cyclops, but not enough to get the elimination. Him and Light are going to complete the wipe. That is.
I wonder if anyone will find out. The way you could find out is you could tell how Clicks is playing. Like, it looks really bad, and he's on PC. You could tell someone's playing for him. Or if he's on mobile, that means it's probably Clicks, and he's playing. So there's a way you could tell. But, like, they're not doing good to the point where anyone has to investigate it. But if you were to investigate it, you'd look at replay, see if he's on his PC when he was playing, which Fortnite can do. As a person, you cannot, but Fortnite could. And if he's on his PC playing that bad, then, yeah, then someone's playing on his account. And if it's on mobile, that means it was him playing. It's just really bad. Just depends. I know he's on a I know he's not at his main setup. He's at his other setup, which could possibly mean, no, he has someone else playing for him. Or at least readying up. Or Clicks could be readying up, but doing something else. That doesn't make sense. But I don't know.
It's just a huge.
We do have some people for the sprites. By the way, we have 2 people right after this, so we should be getting all the sprites after this.
On a whole nother team at Heatwave Harbor. Clean up one of those eliminations, no knock, so the team did get wiped. The other one rotating back on over towards the western side of Heatwave Harbor. We have a solo scurrying around here as well. That's going to be Noise. So for Higgs and Curve, they got that one elimination, which kind of helps their surge, and now they have options here with the zone not too far away. They spot out Noise, good damage there, and I'm not sure he's going to have any time to heal up. There's Curve on one side, Higgs on the other. Get the second elimination of this game.
Keep in mind, too, they initiated with that bad shockwave. Curve was sent out to the side. He still secures the elimination with the pistol there from range. Just flexing at this point, really. 2 nice little elims there. Some counter shots come in though. Higgs is going to be forced to kind of slow down. They're going to heal up, but they're very much ahead right now. Meanwhile, the biggest upset so far for Cold and Ritual is the fact that they've only earned 4 points coming out of the first 2 games. Here on out, from here on out, you know, realistically, they should be dominating. You know, if the law of averages are true, we're going to see them destroy the next 4 games for sure.
Just a much different kind of early game that I'm seeing, contested or not. I feel like they would have in kind of different scenarios, play a little bit more aggressive, but kind of a passive game plan. Kind of similar that we were talking about game 1, seeing Peterbot and Poyo just kind of sit on top of Sinister Strip. Obviously, we saw how that game turned out when it finished, 13 eliminations for them. They definitely picked up the pace. We jump aboard H-Cube and Encrypted. And the funny thing about this team, Monsters, is they were a duo for quite a while. They went their separate ways. It didn't work out for them in the first qualifier. So with only 1 chance left, they said, hey, let's reunite, make the best of the situation. They not only
Looks
make
is
it
doing
here to the
horrible,
finals,
bro.
but
They're
they
not
are
falling
on
unless
inside
he
of
gets
the
to a
bubble.
setup now and automatically
Look at
locks
this
in.
action here. Venom and Aegis right now on top of Magma. Magma jumps out with a surprise attack.
Good shot by Vino.
The important
Big
shot.
Vino.
And Venom
I was
has
watching Vino
punished
yesterday.
every
Holy crack
duo
out.
that has missed a counter
Wow,
shot
nice
onto him
2v1.
so far today. And he just continues to run up the numbers right now. He's playing with such confidence here.
I just have one question for you. Over or under 35 eliminations? And that's just how many he got in the Major 2 finals through 12 games. And that's just kind of the track right now that Veno's going on. I wouldn't necessarily be surprised, even though those are some big numbers.
V-Bucks are going on over, I'm telling you that right now. He's got nothing to lose right now. He's already qualified, right? Like they're just playing with so much momentum here. It's showing, and the strategy's different. He's uncontested. Like, we're just talking about a different game, you know?
Just kind of seeing the differences around the map. Jumping on board Moneymaker for Nyan. They catch Batman Booga, aka Higgs, out of position, get that elimination. And get all that loot, so they do have some extra time to figure out how they want to play this scenario. It is a 2-tick zone though, so they don't have all the time in the world before it moves into a 5-tick, but they definitely have some space to work with.
Yeah, the rotate's looking here. Ooh, nice little snipe off the sky there. Those are the points that you need to start making up for when you're this far behind after a bad game 1. Might even actually take down Barney there too. I'm looking off to the side though. Where is Batman Booga? Why is Curve by himself in a fight right now? Moneymaker for 9. I'm listening to all this go down, mind you, too.
Yeah, you see they had choices. They got that 1 elimination. Almost looked like they were going to try to follow that other solo player that kind of got left behind, but realized the zone is just right there. We don't necessarily have tunnel vision on any one of these scenarios. We're almost 1,000 damage above the threshold and are quickly progressing up that leaderboard, even finding Curve out in open water. He can build, he can try to protect himself, but it's only going to last for so long before he gets cleaned up either way.
It's a crazy amount of eliminations Moneymaker just got in such a short period of time, mind you. They went from nothing to about 4 or 5 already just on that rotate alone. That's how you really play catch up. Meanwhile, Yuz and Sharkman staying slow, steady, and true to the course here. They're in the mid-2 of the next moving zone here. Airdrop happening behind them as well. Have first dibs on that if they want to take the risk for it. They definitely could. Like, this is a great spot to be in here.
I will say though, you know, they started this game at 96 points, tied with King and Craze, but more importantly, 1 point away from that global championship bubble. With that elimination combined with Slepsy and Wagers going down, they have moved inside 2nd place on the overall teams that need a global championship spot. And their team, I feel like week in, week out, every time we see them, they're progressively getting better, and they're usually contending at the early starts of the tournament. They just need to close out strong.
Also, they have a lot of experience playing in finals lobbies. This is a grand finals caliber duo. Everyone has their day as well. If they just continue to lock like this, it's going to be interesting for sure. Looking at Cold and Ritual. Finally, the boys made it to the end game here. We'll see how they end up playing Disruptor. And that's something else to account for, right? All these other players, you guys have fun on high ground. No one's been looking. Well, you also haven't had people like Ritual and Cold in the first 2 games. Yeah, that's a big disruptor duo right there.
It's a tough team to have to go up against. HQ Encrypted. I think they know that in the back of their
Bro, I
mind.
hope Clicks
Here's some noise
qualifies,
in the back
but, bro,
of that
it's not
zone,
gonna
just waiting
happen,
for it to
bro.
catch up. Not trying to make any
Just
big or
not.
drastic moves, and rightfully so. You see it kind of pulled over in their direction, but most of the lobby
Clicks
has
hasn't
that
qualified,
benefit of
right?
the doubt.
I think
Very few
no.
teams have a
Trying to
far
think.
way to go.
Because I
There's
forgot
one team at
Peter,
the vending machine
Peter
towards Cluster
qualified, but he
Coast.
can
That's
play
the
it for
one that
money.
has the most
That's
worries
same
for
with
me.
Clicks.
So everybody will
I don't
then have a
know.
chance to look back, and it's Feno and Agers. Now I'm not worried anymore for some reason.
They're good. They'll be all right. Like I said, he's on a different wavelength. They're playing a different game. Nothing for them to be worried about. Meanwhile, Peter Boyo, though, getting active right now in the ultimate low ground. Just like that, finding a big refresher there. That's onto Gemini there. And it was an instant elimination, mind you. Now they're above the damage threshold as well. Just fighting their way back into the game and really taking control of this situation here. Meanwhile, Cold falls to the hands of Encrypted and HQ. That's a huge
Clicks
knock
already
there.
qualified, so yeah,
Great
he's
setup
probably
points
not
there,
even
really
gonna
starting
try.
to take off now.
He's definitely
Yeah,
not gonna
do
try.
keep in mind, this is a team
I mean,
that is sitting
that makes
comfortably
sense.
right now in a qualified seat
Yeah, he
to the
definitely
lane
isn't
event.
trying to
So
make no
all
money.
of this
He
momentum
playing
they're
mobile.
building means a lot.
I'm
Meanwhile,
telling you, he playing
saw
mobile.
Victor and Queasy kind of inching up towards the high ground. Might see a battle for that.
I think Moneymaker Fnayan kind of doing exactly what we've seen them do, just kind of lurk around. They started this game in 23rd place, so they're just trying to go ahead and not have to make heroic efforts in Game 6, so it's just about a slow progression up that leaderboard. Just Peterbot and Poyo find a huge angle on the Creon, getting him dropped down to about 50 HP, continue to put pressure in that direction, but as the next zone reveals itself, they go right back to what they need to focus on, and that's how they're going to go from point A to point B here.
I'm still shocked teams like Peterbot and Boya are allowing threats just to have high ground for free. Once again, they're sitting so comfortably up.
I'm telling you,
No
height's
one
gonna
has
be a
yet
problem, bro.
pointed their
You give
focus
him
up
to
top.
height,
Obviously, you
bro,
have
they're gonna
Queasy
win.
mid-ground there. Saw Venno kind of lurking nearby too. Reet and Cooper are starting to get close, but this is the second game now. Second end game, by the way, Visual and Threats have made it to, both of which they've decided to confidently go for high ground.
They were able to win Game 1, kind of fell early due to that max pull they had in Game 2, but now with the actual end zone at their POI, this is a must-win scenario, or get as high up top 2s, top 3s as possible. They're doing the standard strategy. Threat stays back, Visuals builds forward. They kind of protect themselves on both ends of that spectrum to make sure that nobody can contest them up on that high ground, and that includes Victor V and Queasy, who we haven't seen go for it once.
No, they haven't been comfortable enough to do it. And even here,
I'm telling you,
this is not a
Threats
great
wins
spot
this
to be in
100%.
elimination, so we're gonna have to see them do something big here to really earn their stay, make those points matter here. But an end game nonetheless is impressive. Moneymaker for 9, 5 eliminations now. Queasy falls as we highlight them, and then Victor comes right behind them as well. Unfortunate end for them there. No big placement points either. Meanwhile, you saw Venno super lit up there in the front side of zone. Encrypted and HQ just playing perfect Fortnite here. Going for the double heal strategy. I love this because what they want is consistency. 3 points, placement being earned here. This is how you play into the tournament format.
Yeah, they want to dodge all this mess that other teams are going through. Venno having to pause there, looking back. This is a big opportunity. He could go back and try to get some of those materials, but it's not necessarily a worry in his mind. Up until now, he's going to leave Agers to do just that while he takes a fight on the front side of his own. 18 builds and quickly running out now that he's gained the presence of that high ground team, forcing him lower and lower. But former teammates now
Bro, I'm
turn
telling you,
enemies.
Threats
Booga
wins
and
this. They
Threats,
still got
Brains,
height.
Visuals all
telling
battling
you.
out on the high ground here. But
wait till
Visuals
they
and
get off.
Threats, they've seen to hold their
Booga.
composure. They've denied
Dang,
Booga
Booga's
and
dead.
Brains once, and even leads to a down thanks to Peterbot.
Something went wrong there. Brains wasn't there to back up Booga in time, and now the high ground plot was foiled. Meanwhile, Peterbot and Boyo just
Bro, this
listening
could
to
be
the
a
action go
Peterbot
down,
win.
getting
This could
gifted
be
several eliminations here
Threats
as well.
win.
Not even concerned with going for the loot. Instead, positioning is what matters here.
Threats still
To
in
the
here,
front
though?
side they go. 13 teams still remaining here. Agers is one of them. Finds a nice little elimination there onto Sphinx. Sphinx desperately needed to earn some more points there. This could be a major setback for them. Taking a look at what else is
Yeah,
going
bro,
on
they
here.
still got height.
Visuals
They
and
still got
Threats
height.
Still have height.
While they do that, encrypted.
It's gonna be Peter and Poyo
HQ
versus
just kind
Red
of running around
and whoever
down
he's
below.
playing with.
No
I'm telling
build.
you.
They eventually get sent back to the lobby, but not before they can secure at least half of the placement points in this game so far. Into the top 6 we go. 3 players running around as solos, but for Josh Niamzo, they're not one of them.
Yeah, this is the game plan for them right now. Like you said, it's about disrupting those teams in their early game, kind of securing their land spot. And then everything else is extra. Play for the money, get the big points. They're pushing this very far now. Nice little exchange of tags there. It's Peterbot, Niamzo, Josh though with the backup there. Puts down Peterbot, gets the finish as well. Niamzo
Oh, wow, Peter's dead.
preferred, of course, the siphon there, but it's all good.
And luckily he's still alive. Sometimes you just got to take what you can get in these scenarios, just like a Minish here. 8 builds, at least a little bit to work with. Trying to get that little bit extra with the shockwave effect and just trying to stay behind closed doors for as long as possible. He knows he's one of 3 different solos in this game. Poyo again, back-to-back games left by himself. He clutches up a couple of extra points here, but you can see
I still think Threats wins, bro.
throughout this
I said it from whenever they got hype. They get it so early, and I think they're almost out of builds. Let me check. But they still know how to, like, work with the match. Yeah, they're gonna win. 1000% they win. I bet my whole life savings. Yep. I bet my whole life savings they would win, bro. I knew it.
Put their way up to 158 points there, Jacob.
Yeah, they win game 1, they win game 3, proving that they might have the perfect recipe for success, and they're going underneath everybody's radar the way they're able to get the high ground almost uncontested in those 2 victory royales.
Consistency. That's what we're aiming for, right? Consistency. We are aiming for one of 2 spots going to the global championship as the final opportunity. Visual and Threats show up big time. And you know, Kelly, in a lobby like this where there is so many big names and there's duos that already have their spots, they are still winning games. That's incredible.
It is absolutely incredible, and we can't claim now that no one was looking up, no one tried to steal height. It was none other than Bugha trying to stop them against height, but Visuals and Threats handled that height steal so well against them.
They're so good at height that nobody contested them that first game, so it's helping them. Like, they're better off winning height for sure, and they did. They won height against Bugha, but that's because they've been working on height and nobody else has been trying to get it. Like, if the first game someone went for height, they'd be a little nervous, but like the first game they literally won on height, so it's like they already know what they're doing. Literally, like, look at that. They had height for so long, no one was trying to chop, which was crazy, bro. No one's trying to chop. They'll go for height, like Bugha tried, but nobody's really chopping, and Bugha was the only one that said, hey, I'll try to take it. If he took it, he might have won, probably, but still. And while he threw Threats into Storm for 20, but yeah, I mean, he kind of almost 2v1'd a little bit, because, yeah, Threats got low, but, like, he tried, but I still thought Threats was going to win that 1000%.
Visuals and Threats, they've taken full advantage of how it's playing out right now. They've already won 2 out of the 3 games.
158 points. That is crazy. We knew going into this last game, HQ and Encrypted actually had 156. So I'm very curious to see how those standings look like in just a moment, because first, a quick break. When we return, we break down those standings, see how things are going, and try and hone in on who's in the top 2. We'll see you in just a moment.
I'll go here. I'm popping in that bit. Wait, choke. Got 6 build? No, max up. She on mid, please. 100. 100. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Milk can help you grow. Milk can't prevent your ride from blasting into space.
I'm back. I'm literally 7 seconds back. Let's go.
What's up, Fortnite fam? Welcome back to GC Last
Here we go.
Chance. I'm trying to be cool because I'm really nervous.
How many more points or how many more games do we have?
Classic me. Anyway, welcome back.
It's almost, and I just text this guy. Hopefully he'll respond so I can like get this right thing done on stream. I want to get it on stream.
We're trying to aim for consistency. There's 2 spots for the global championship seat. I want a spot on that bus, and rightfully so. They're earning that spot. Let's take a look at our leaderboard. I got a little sneak peek of this ahead of time. And obviously, there's a little bit of an outlier here. Classic Peter Bot and Boyo. 236 points. What the heck? So, Kelly, what I'd like to do here... Obviously, we know Peter Bot and Boyo, they've already qualified. We know Agers and Benno have already qualified.
Oh, they have?
We know Visuals and Threats are looking
See, it's
to
crazy.
qualify,
They did this
right? So
with
those
EU.
high placements,
They're more
they're
concerned on
currently
first place than
essentially our top
anything.
two
And
right
Aussie Antic was talking about this. They're
they
showing
are
who's
currently,
in
as
first
far as
place.
teams
They're
to
showing a lot
qualify,
more
they
highlights.
are
They're
first team
talking
to
about
be
the
able to
leaderboard
get
first
into the global
place. Like,
championships. And
they're
I've
not
got a
showing,
performance for game number
you know, the
3.
qualifying. Like, we're
Feels
talking about
bullish enough,
qualifying. We don't care about
confident
no
that they are gonna
30,000.
make their way
I mean,
in. However,
obviously,
it's the
we want to
halfway
know who's
point.
in
If you're
first.
able to have this
But,
much
like,
success,
I
this
think
so
that's
is
the
another
second time
games in
Peter's
as
been
well.
first,
And there's
and it's
definitely been some
consistent,
teams
and
that we
he
have
might
looked
win.
to, like
But that's the
HQ, have been
second time on the
performing really
leaderboard that
well.
they've
Another
only
team
been
that we
talking
just
about
kind of
Peterbot.
seem to overlook
And if
for
it
whatever
wasn't
reason,
Peterbot, they
and
would be talking about
part of that
whoever's in
duo
first
there,
place.
and they
They're
just
caring
seem to
about
be
that
having a
30K.
really
Like, this ain't no
good
grand
performance
finals.
right
Come
now.
on, bro. We want to know who
Without a doubt,
qualifies.
let's go ahead and see
Like,
how comfortable Visuals and Threats
and normally they got crowns next to the names who's qualifying, but I can't see that. There's no crowns this time. See, now they're talking about the qualifying thing, which is good. But, like, they're going straight to that first place every time. Like, come on, bro.
Behind them, those 2 duos are currently
Booga's in 10th. I mean, I don't know if that's good or bad. Like, I don't know. Like, I know Peter's qualifying.
And Encrypted been up to, right?
I
How
don't
are they
know.
performing so well? I mean, 156 points. Kelly, it's just been all about consistently placing in the top 10. I mean, their match history goes 9th place, 5th place, and then another 9th place.
I'm interested to see how they're going to be able to hold.
I'm gonna go get a drink. I'll be right back.
Zone 8 that they were below Storm Surge, and obviously it's such a big question mark on once these moving zones start. Are you going to be able to beat Storm Surge? Are you going to be able to forgo taking any damage while being able to actually take down some players? So that is definitely a big question mark. But another big question mark that I have right now is Yuz and Sharkman, currently in 4th place, just a few steps away from going into the global championships. And although they didn't have as good of a game that we saw in games number 2 and 1, I definitely think they're still well within contention, haven't lost that momentum yet.
What worries me about a duo like Yuz and Sharkman, though, when I was taking a look at how well they did in game number 2 when they got 3rd place, second eliminations, I was like, let me go back and take a look at how they did in Major 2 finals. And, you know, they ended at 28th place, so it wasn't incredibly, you know, anything to kind of note down about, but they were kind of contested. But the thing that scared me was that in those Major 2 finals,
Like, I
they
think
only had
this
one
right
game where
here
they
is the
broke
leaderboard to see who's
outside or
qualifying.
inside of the top
Bugha's
10. They had a
10th,
second place
so
with 5 eliminations. And them only being able to do that once, I was like, maybe they have already kind of expended that one good game that we kind of used to seeing out of Yuz and Sharkman already on the day. That 3rd game, they got 2nd or 22nd place right there. So they got to go ahead and pick it back up. But a team that did pick it up, Kelly, Javi and Aminish. Remember, we were kind of calling on these guys to potentially play for the high ground. We haven't seen that out of them so far, but in game number 3, a 2nd place with 8 eliminations.
Definitely starting to pick things up right here. Being able to make it into the very end game as a solo is definitely a great way to start their climb up the leaderboard. But obviously, Javi and Aminish have not been able to really do their classic gameplay of stealing height because of how well Visuals and Threats have been holding it. And they saw what happened to Bugha and Braids when they tried to steal it. So I'm definitely not, it's not like I am accusing Javi and Aminish for being like afraid to go and steal height. I think they're playing it smart. I think they realize that they don't have what it takes to be able to take height away from Visuals and Threats. So maybe that's why we haven't necessarily seen them make that play yet. But Zeke, we got 3 more games to go. It's very possible that Javi is going to be pulling out something soon.
We got to, right? We're now at the halfway point of the competition. We need to start making some things happening. I'm even looking at, I guess overall, like the overall leaderboard, 14th place, Moneymaker and F9. 84 points, right? We know all the way at the top, Visuals and Threats have 158. And then if we just keep going down, Chris and Aloe had 150, right? Like, there is still ground to make up. But this is a duo that I feel like can do that. We just need some really strong games in the latter half of this. Kelly, I gotta be real, when I look at the games they put up, a 23rd, a 12th, a 15th, I'm not gonna lie, I am a little bit worried.
I am worried, but also out of everyone that we're watching compete here today, Vivid, I am curious to who has a different strategy, a different plan in their back pocket, and I feel like if it's going to be any duo, it's going to be this duo right here.
I mean, listen, for Moneymaker 9 to be in 14th place with 82 points and still have yet to break into the top 10, they just got to figure out one little thing to actually make a big enough adjustment to have an impact, to kind of place them just a little bit better in some of these games, but only 3 left for them to do it. We'll have to see if they can figure it out.
Oh man, my stress levels are already rising. We are now at the halfway point of the competition. 3 games left. And again, I will continue to remind you, there is only 2 spots going to the Global Championship. There is duos in this lobby that have already earned themselves a spot for qualifying. They're looking to compete for prize money. Everyone else is looking and fighting for just one of 2 spots. Now or never, we need to pick up the pace. We need to shift and take fate into our very own hands. Because with 3 games left to go, we need to make something happen right here, right now. That being said, I'm getting word. Games are ready. Game 4 is prepared. Casters, over to you.
Let's go, game 4, bro.
It is definitely
Game
looking to be a little
4, bro.
nerve-wracking for the rest of the tournament. We're already
Game
at that halfway point, and typically in some tournaments, Monster, we look at who's brave enough to go after first place. And now I'm looking at any team that is not qualified for globals. Are you brave enough to take the challenge to the teams inside of the bubble?
Yeah, on top of that, you have 3 teams arguably neck and neck, tied up for the most part, 150 points, sitting up at the top with 2 prestigious positions available. Who's going to be able to do it here, Jacob? We're just going to have to find out.
Three games left, and you see I'm talking about, and I even said it today, time flies when you're having fun. But if you're any of the teams that have yet to qualify for the global championship, you got to imagine how slow everything is moving, how big mistakes feel, but even how big are those moments that you're able to clutch up actually feel as well.
Yeah, definitely. And now when the pressure starts to rise, who is going to be able to maintain themselves, stay composed, and continue to perform when it matters most? Again, some teams have never actually been in this position either. Do remember, there are so many different duos fighting for their first chance at land, but more importantly, probably their first time ever being in a leading position coming in about 3 games into a tournament, right? So there's so much other things at work here as well, mentally, that I think is going to make for a very interesting kind of midpoint of the tournament now.
Yeah, what can you do when things aren't necessarily going your way, or how can you hold on to it as visuals and
Nice
threats
kill by
do get
Threats.
contested this time around? They're able to at least take out one of those eliminations, and Threats actually not going to get both of them back to back. So typically we saw in game 1, I know game 2 for sure, they get the max pull and it's kind of Storm Surge that's in the back of their mind. How are we going to get it? Now with 200 damage off spawn, that's going to ease up the tension a little bit for visuals and Threats.
I wonder if that's going to make them think twice now, too, moving forwards throughout the rest of the tournament. But at an 8-point swing, when you already have a small lead over everyone else, is definitely massive. Issue. Dozer, though, we talked about how they kind of had a chance to do something big, and they took the most out of it. They seem to have gotten the elimination this game around, which is going to be really unfortunate for, of course, Jace and Skittles here, who, by the way, were inside that conversation of teams that could qual. So now they're going to be set back big time here.
For Isha and Dozier, though, these are the moments you have to take and run with it. It's Cold and Ritual doing the same thing. For most of the day so far, we've seen kind of passive play from both of these guys, almost to the point where that third party starts to move in. But this second half here, Ritual and Cold, they probably realize, hey, if we want to win this entire thing, we probably need to get a little bit more aggressive. And it starts with winning our drop spot.
It's only getting better for them right now. You get to see it, though, when Cold and Ritual fight on their terms. I mean, they wrap it up pretty quickly. Meanwhile, Cold just kind of walks these two down, gets the 8-point swing. Last game, they did make an end game. We saw how they at least got to actually earn some real significant points there. Look at this, Neo kind of lurking nearby. End up catching a team. I Am Enough is going to be the first ball here. The whole other dudes. Diego plays sitting outside. Haven't really had the chance to earn anything yet here in the tournament.
It's a good eye from Ultra, though. See him and Diego are just kind of two different elevations. Diego just trying to take control of that mending machine. But Ultra actually spotted out Doxy, knowing, hey, there's a solo here that we have to watch out for. A duo as well. Neo and Soneto, we kind of saw how that one played out. And the big question mark out of this entire scenario, does anybody know that Ultra and Diego are actually here? Because that could be a great chance for them to get a couple of eliminations, get some damage for Storm Surge.
These guys are playing smarter.
Doxy just looking
Not
out
fighting
here,
as much.
trying to be very cautious with his next big move. Diego, Ultra just holding on the fort here, trying to see if anyone's going to reveal themselves. So this is all but a standoff now, as everyone is very much aware that there are people lurking nearby.
And luckily this building is just basically all made of metal and brick. So they don't have to go far, just continue to replenish as many materials, not too much of a risk in that regard, falling below the curve. You're kind of seeing everybody else, Chris and Aloe, just outside of that bubble, 6 points or so. That's these 2 eliminations. They'll push themselves into that top 2 spot in terms of qualifying for the globals. So Barney and Vertify have to be very, very careful here. I think for most of this game, they've been uncontested, they've been unbothered, so this one is definitely going to be a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, what's surprising to me is how Chris and Aloe just snuck their way up into this qualification spot, right, on the tournament. We haven't really seen or highlighted their strategy too much, but whatever they're doing, these lurk plays like this is clearly working for them, and now they're earning the extra points to really start to separate themselves from the pack here.
54, I'm not sure they saw Vertify, but he's definitely going to give himself away by building.
Okay, chat, we should be good on the spreads. He texted me back just now. Should be good right after this. They do yap a lot, so I'll text them, and if he joins while they're just yapping, I'll just dip out. We'll know who gets first. I told them still an hour. There's still probably another hour. We're halfway through the game's 9. Like, they gotta, I don't know. Like, I don't know if there's a, I'm gonna look right now, Ashley. Matter of fact, I'm gonna see if there's a time, or if we just have to wait. Because if we have to wait and it's like 10:30, it's like, bro, I don't want to make this guy wait even longer than what I told him.
They're at 134, so we're all very much in the conversation.
We having issues.
It's going to be forced to rotate in to go play for the pickup
Why is
here.
it bugging? Should be good.
Just gotta hope it remains uncontested. We did see some fights south of the actual POI. So it's just a matter if anybody tries to rotate to that vending machine, maybe even hear the noise for the reboot. But Shadow and Virgo, one of few teams in this lobby so far that can actually siphon points away from teams that actually do.
Oh wow, you got West. You got West right now, but they're not. They don't care for West.
They're a team that you can almost
they generally don't care for West.
Because when you do, they usually strike back.
Yeah, I think it ends at 2.
Yeah, definitely.
Or 10. I think it ends at 10.
Strong duos here.
I'm trying to
In
look.
the last couple weeks, you know, everyone's kind of had an eye on them. What's going on?
Are
they going to be able to kind of pull through and be dominant like we saw them in the early half of the year?
Yeah, it says 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Okay, so we should be good by 10. 10:20 is latest.
Playing the best we've ever seen them, trying to qualify for their first land. Must feel like a lot of pressure sitting on their shoulders right now. Playing as good as they have so far, Jacob, right? 156 points. They're like in that top 3 here. And I would say that they gap everyone else by a pretty large margin, right? Like 50 points is a whole game buffer you basically have right now if you're up in the top 3.
For them, that's gotta feel good. Again, still, like you're talking about 3 games left. How do you hold on to it? How do you face the mental challenges a part of this game? And of course, the eventuality that may or may not happen of a team looking to hunt you down so that way they can secure their own spot. But for Peterbot and Pollo, that's not necessarily a worry. I think for this day, Peterbot and Pollo kind of playing a different game because they may not always necessarily be able to take high ground. They may not always necessarily be above that damage threshold. And I think through Major 2, we kind of saw a couple of the weaknesses in their armor. And I think here is a great attempt for them to try to fix it.
Ignoring to lose to my friend. Yo, brother, I've seen this guy so many times. I have no idea who your friend is, bro. And you commenting 1,000 times, hating on me for no good reason, because your friend beat me. It's just crazy. Number 1, it's not you that beat me. Number 2, there's no point to hate me. I mean, and number 3, I have no idea who your friend exactly is. And I mean, losing is better than winning. I'm not gonna lie. In some scenarios, I've never known your friend, and you never text me saying, "Hey, can you 1v1 my friend?" Which means your friend probably just added me, 1v1 me, and then left, and then text you saying, "I beat Chief." Like, I mean, it's not a. I don't know, bro. Not a flex, bro.
They kind of know that team lurks around.
I lose all the time, brother. I lose to pub kids, bro. These sprite things are crazy. These kids with sprites are insane, bro. Still a small streamer at the end of the day, bro. 7K followers is not a lot. I'm grateful for it, but there's still a lot more I gotta drive for, bro. Losing a 1v1, I mean, that's nothing, bro. There wasn't a token on it because I don't do tokens. You know? It's not like I lost money. It's not like, you know. At the end of the day, I'm getting views. You've been commenting on all my videos saying whenever I fought Higgs, it's not real because all I had was an SMG and I sprayed him. I mean, brother, at the end of the day, you're just giving that video more views, you know?
Don't count them out. 108. Yeah, sure, they're not in the
I have no idea who your friend is, bro. Not even joking. I haven't seen your friend text me on TikTok. I've seen you blown up my TikTok talking, just hating, but I haven't seen your friend send one message saying he beat me. Not gonna lie. Sounds fishy. Like, do we even believe it?
Yeah, and almost making it sound a little bit easier than it actually is because there's just a bunch of question marks all around the lobby. Peterbot and Pollo, one of the biggest ones in first place. We know how explosive they can be. Agers and Veno from big elimination.
And I don't know if you've ever heard the saying, better in game than not.
That they cross paths with, so
I'm pretty much better in game than creative.
I
and I stand on that. My rotates are so much better. I mean, when you're 1v1ing, it's just straight there. In game, it's different.
So even with 3 games left, you have to get inside of the top 10. They have to get some top 8 placings with some eliminations so they can stay in contention.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're there. It's like so close yet so far now. Drop in a game really does start to kind of show its worth on the points. QK Mirops, here's a team that hasn't been very fortunate on the
not like a famous person that has like 1 million followers. I would be doing the same. Bro, I'd be putting that in like Higgs' chat if I beat Higgs. But I don't even hate on nobody. But I'm still just a small streamer. I mean, him beating me. It's cool, bro. You know how many people beat Clicks when he wasn't good?
This is kind of where they've been dropping almost all season long towards the coastline.
That doesn't make any sense.
The cluster. They don't necessarily
Wasn't even
take
you that
too
killed
many
me, by the
big
way.
fights other than teams possibly jumping on them. So 175 above the damage threshold, pretty standard
And
for
now,
their
bro
game plan
doesn't
here.
check. Yeah.
Just with the zone pulling further and further away, they
All
kind of have
good
the
with
same
me, bro.
problem
All
other
good
players
with
will do on this side of the map. Is how do you maintain
I see
that
Rapid right
storm
there.
surge
Clicks
threshold,
is
because
nowhere
it
to
is
be
active
seen, bro.
as of now.
Clicks is dead, probably. I just seen Rapid right there by himself.
Slipsy waits
Or
to
Rapid, bro. Or Rapid.
see now, even here, it's the first that we are catching them sort of on that threshold. That damage potentially looking to come for them here. They gotta be careful with the Storm Surge right now. Not many options to pick from as far as duos. It's about 3 in front of them, but a few of them do have really big high ground kind of positions. I mean, I guess they can also just sit on the mending machine too, right? They do have a couple plays they can make here. They don't have to force anything, but either way, keep an eye out for them. Meanwhile, here's threats. No
I
vision.
actually
Okay,
think it's
so
hilarious
first we're
if they
seeing
don't comment
one of
and
our
just hate, and then they
consistent
leave
teams that
and
are
they don't
leading
even
the
hear my
pack here.
response.
You know,
I
you would
doubt
think
even
after
heard my
3 games,
response.
after winning 2 of them, oh, it's a shoo-in.
Funny.
Oh, they made it.
Actually
No,
funny,
no,
bro.
no. Still
think
have
I'm a
3
pro.
more games in front of them.
Like,
Anything can happen, even
other-
now.
I'm Div 4, bro.
Same
I'm
way we saw them
Div
get
1.
taken out in game number 2.
And I'm
Look at
happy
this,
I'm Div
way
4, but
behind
there's
here.
still a lot to go, bro.
Yeah, blessing that they do have going for them is
Semi,
the damage
I'm like
above
a
the threshold.
good, but I ain't no
Kinda see
semi-pro,
how
bro.
visuals have fallen just snug.
Funny.
Kind of what you were
Actually,
talking about in a
so
different
funny.
scenario with Lepsy's
Bro,
and
Pete and
Wagers
Poyo are
kind of just
chilling.
sitting on top of that mending machine, visuals and threats, trying to go for one themselves, and that's how they got caught off guard. Sometimes it's just hard to check every single cover, every single cone to make sure you're safe 100% of the time. But as you see in the minimap, zone continues to pull towards the north. So as Peterbot and Poyo themselves start to get engulfed by the zone itself, it's for a reason. They're just staggering themselves back so they can go ahead and get even more damage above that threshold.
Reds does get that reboot there. See the picture. Visual's gonna touch down. Meanwhile, Peterbot just being a menace right now to Icy and Decay here from the high ground. Had Jason's sight for a little bit there too.
Got the
We should be
double
good with the
bank shot
sprites
there
after
for
this,
him.
by the way, chat.
Wow, 100 body shot.
I think we're still
both
doing
timed
that.
it
Should
perfectly.
be doing
Double
that.
tag somebody, instant
I'll make
down.
sure of that, though.
But you can see they're
Whenever
just
the
preparing for the
tournament's
next
close to
rotation,
ending.
going back to the double hills, the shockwave, and then the loadout with the AR and the shotgun. You can see a different approach versus some of the other teams that still will use that lance head pistol or the regular as well. They try to get 2 different ammos, which the small and the medium. Peterbot and Poyo are just going for straight surge throughout majority of this game, knowing they could probably pick one of those up later on.
Yeah, and they've done a really good job, I would say, comparatively to the grand finals performance, where we saw them, I don't know, doing different strategies, kind of pushing different teams, and it didn't work out exactly the same way, but this time, seen it just be in prime form. Threats, though, gets knocked to the storm here, and it is just chunking away right now. It's going to force Visuals into his last chug jug here right after getting
Threats
picked
is
up.
dead.
Can
He's
they
trying to make
earn
the best
any
of it.
points at this point is
Wow,
the real
GG's.
question here, but
He
no,
tried making the
Visuals
best
doesn't
of
make
that.
it in
He
time.
really was trying.
He might have
No,
Crazy.
that
sickness
was.
or something.
Yep,
Yeah.
that was the storm sickness.
That was
And
sickness,
I was
wow.
thinking, he's taking huge chunks. It's supposed to be a 5 tick. He was taking 10 per damage. That
Yeah,
was
that means he had
active
storm.
sickness.
Yeah.
And you only actually take the active storm sickness for so long before you just kind of vanish
Come on,
like
bro,
a
you
magic
gotta get
gun.
out
You
of the
taken
below,
down,
bro.
sent back
It's
to the
active.
lobby. So
Come on.
for Visuals and
Not be
Threats,
missing. Oh my
that
god.
has got to be
He hit
a
one shot.
mental
Okay, now he's
stopper
above.
there.
But wow.
Everything in their game
Brother,
here has come to a
your life
close.
depends
They
on
just
it,
got
bro.
2
Come
games
on.
left.
Not
Try
be
to keep
airballing like
themselves
this.
within that bubble.
Yeah, it's pretty
They didn't
tough.
even place behind them. That's like
And
me,
those
bro.
10
In
ticks
Tiv
of
4,
storm
bro.
sickness, and you're
Like, tell me
out.
how all these kids, like, this is what I don't
On the
understand.
other side, though,
How can he
also
just
another player that
heal
was rebooted
like
by
what he
you.
just did?
Take a look at this. Aloe
He
and
just
Chris,
healed
pressure
wide in the
on.
open and nobody
They
shot him.
deliver.
I don't
This is
understand
why
that.
they're one of the most
I
consistent
truly
teams
don't.
here on the day right
Because
now,
my div cups,
continuing
bro,
to perform
you have to
here
place
with
behind your
ours.
back so much.
Virgo, though, you saw
And if
that
I don't,
Shadow
it
went
like
with the
messes me
hero's
up.
effort
And that's
to
something
kind
I
of go
don't
back
do
into
all
the
the
game.
time.
He's 59 below.
But these pros,
He clipped
like,
something
brother,
down
right
here.
here, they know I'm lurking and then they're just gonna come
Duo
chase me.
pick,
I don't
to
understand
say
that.
the
Like,
least. But they don't expect
like,
it.
yeah, that
Oh,
would have happened to me.
no.
That would have happened to
They
me.
see
Yeah.
him. Virgo
Yeah, I don't
gets
know what
taken
kind of
out
lurk that was,
close.
but that would have happened to me too. Exactly what happened to him
Line
would have
and
happened to me.
sinker.
But I
Almost
wouldn't
feel
have
like
tried
they
to lurk.
baited him out.
I don't know
I
what
was
his
kinda
mats
thinking
were.
just, like,
Maybe
in
I
that
would have.
angle, it's definitely got to be
But
hard to see him, but they spotted him out
I
nonetheless.
don't know. Maybe because it's all pros
Almost
and they're all
800
like
damage
distracted
from the
on their
threshold.
own
Surprisingly
thing,
enough, the
and
first
versus
elimination of the game,
Div
but
4
it's
they're
kind of
all
been
just like
how the day has been going
just
so
trying to
far.
qualify instead of
Slow and
these people are
steady,
just
and then
like
they kind
playing
of
themselves.
explode here in some of these
Like
end
they're
games.
pros. I don't know.
Even kind of
I don't really
13
know.
eliminations.
I mean,
not
G Money's
winning the
chilling.
game,
They
but
went
still
left
ending up
side.
in
The left
first
side is
place
so
after
dead
game one.
versus the
And we're
right.
kind of seeing where everybody is forced to go.
Just
Over
like the
towards
game,
the
bro.
north, just
All the
towards
game
the
is
west of
right peaks.
Battlewood.
But if you go to the left side's like
Yuz
more
trying to
dead,
play
you know?
catch up here. That immediate competition, still earning points. We already know they have a chance to do something big here. 147 above, so not too desperate at the moment, but they'll probably need a little bit of tags. Zone's still quite the ways away. They still have a shockwave to work with. It's Ritual who's got positioning right now. Tyler and Chance end up
I see Cooper.
number few
Trying to
tags
see some
there.
names.
Slepsy, Wagers. After getting taken out nice and early, just the game before. They need to do something big here, but 2 below right now, Jacob. Pressure starting to mount up. Here comes the big rotate. He gets caught.
Oh
This is what
my
happens when
gosh.
you rotate
I
too
just
late.
saw this team get
The lobby
destroyed in
gets
one
situated
rotate.
now. It's all up to Wagers here, but 303 below. 4 players have to fall here. This is really rough of a spot to be in.
Yeah, basically needs elimination and a half before Storm Surge even activates.
There's
Only
no way I
take
just
2
watched that.
ticks, 14 seconds from when it turns on, and even less now that he goes towards the outside. He hits the bump on the shockwave below the damage threshold. Cannot even take too many more shots, and he gets blocked off, taken out, and sent back to the lobby. And for Yuz and Sharkman, this is a golden opportunity to try to close the gap, but they too are below the damage threshold. Sharkman taking a big shot, active surge as well. 7 HP is all he has left. I'm not sure he got
See,
the
this is
mid-hit
bad.
off in time when he does.
Surge is
He
active.
gets
This is
it off,
bad.
and they're staying
Surge
alive
is active.
on a
Come on,
break.
bro.
This is
Dang.
crazy. He's deciding at this point, hey, it's over for me. Just take the chug. You might as well heal there, and Yuz is left to play this one out by himself. Just 2 players have to fall.
That was 2
Give him a
solos
little
next
bit
to
of
each other.
relief
That was
here.
his wall. I'm
This is
sorry,
a
but why
really
did you
tough
not
game,
shoot?
but hey, look, they're
Maybe
earning
because
that
he would have
little
died to
bit of
Storm Surge,
placement
but come on.
points, so
You would have got the
it's not
siphon.
for
You would have went
nothing
down
just yet.
100 Surge. Now you're 200 down below
Yuz
and it's
has to
active.
just find
I
one
swear.
huge
Is
tag
that just
here to
me?
kind of
Like,
put
am I
himself
brain
in
dead
the
right now?
game,
My
buy him
brain's
a little
sleeping?
bit
Like,
more room.
I swear I just saw that.
Players are everywhere, but no one's revealed himself, not for a free tag just yet.
Yeah, reads down, but finally gets cleaned up, or at least not just yet. Yuz is just hoping and praying, clean him up, get the elimination. I
Dang,
don't
bro.
have enough HP, and he
I think
goes
Cold
down.
wins
Reek
this.
falls
I think
literally
Cold wins
a
this.
fraction
Trust.
of a second after,
Every hype
and
player,
all
I'm gonna
dust
say wins.
settles
Every
when
hype
we
player,
just saw Ritual
every
and
hype
Cold
player I see
making
is
it
going to
towards
win.
another one of these end games, and they're on high ground.
Yeah, I was looking at Reed's down body there, and I'm like, all he has to do is get finished. But it wasn't close enough. Meanwhile, Crypto and HQ are taking advantage of the opportunity. They are going to start running away with one of the spots right now, solidifying their way up to the top, as are Aloe and Chris. Do not forget that this team is also
Wow,
the
Pete is still in
qualifying
here, bro.
seeded teams right now.
He is actually
Madden and
still.
Chance are under fire here. Chris and Aloe are popping
tough.
off here. 3 elims on the move. Shockwave still in sight. Plenty of heals to work with. This is just such a good game for them right now.
Yeah, and even better with the competition above them on that leaderboard already
See,
down.
Pete and
Meanwhile,
Foil might win
Foil
this.
take the
Like,
challenge.
if
We
they
were
have
saying,
height, I'm not glad
where
they
are
win.
their fights
I'm not
on
gonna
high
lie.
ground throughout today's
Telling you,
tournament?
height
Peterbot
is always
and Foil
gonna win,
have
not gonna
finally
win.
set their eyes
I've watched
on
it
the
every
prize.
game.
They get the elimination for height. This is how it all broke down. Just one shockwave. Ritual didn't see it coming. The full box. Oh my.
Yep.
Full box!
That you let your guard down. Peterbot and Foyo came to play. And they're in control of things here from here.
Wow, one build.
Now, Minish. Hobby on the other side, though. Look at this. 150 points now. Another big game for them, too. But Chris, solo by himself on the left side. A Minish on the right here by himself as well. Chris finds a down body there, but he doesn't get the finish in time.
Dude,
Still,
that
though,
guy's
staying
4
alive is all
HP
that
with
matters.
2
He's got
jugs.
2
Wow.
chug jugs to work with. A Minish falls there inside the top 10. Chris finds a little bit of material there. Can he buy a little bit more room?
This is perfect. Playing it perfectly. He was able to farm up, just like you said.
bro, I'm
getting him
dead
more
if
than
I
enough
tried
time
that.
to try
Right?
and get healthy on the chug jug and returning to familiar
Hero build.
territory. Now he's going to get healthy. 200 effective shield and HP and inside of the top 10. So at least half of the placement points in the game so far. But they have to be careful. Peterbot and Foil up above. Curly and Sphinx taking the front side of the zone. And Encrypted and HQ still hanging on.
Crazy that this is their immediate competition as well. Chris is just trying to stay alive. He actually finds Madden on the rotate there, so another elimination for him. Meanwhile, HQ Encrypted
trying to possibly play for some more elimination points here, but they also only have one. You can really tell that the teams that need the qualification are desperately playing for placement points. Meanwhile, Dash and Oxy hoping to get a win here, go for high ground and push Pollo off. HQ still popping off though, finds Curve there. And
I think
Chris
Peterbot wins
listening to
only
the
because he
chaos
has
go
height.
down. Even with the enemy above him, he stays in the storm a little too long and then gets finished up there finally by Peterbot and Pollo.
Yeah, just great clutch effort, and honestly a blessing. He got taken down by a team who doesn't necessarily need the points for globals. Now they're going right back on up. They expended so much to take height early, and it's costed them everything. Peterbot's gonna fall. Pollo left by himself, but for how long? And can he do another clutch game? Because right now he's already looking at height. Curly's down. Sphinx left alive. He's staggering to the backside of the zone. HQ encrypted. They're trying to get it, but they fall short. HQ's gonna go down. Now encrypted is down in a 1v2 situation.
Yeah, Pollo's got the high ground though. He's got a little bit to work with. Down he comes. He hits a shot and the follow-up as well. And Pollo will secure the win there. You would have expected it a little sooner, maybe a little bit cleaner there, Jacob, but they had to work for it in the end.
It's Peterbot and Pollo's world. We're just living it. Second place, fourth place, and now a first place clutch from Pollo.
Oh, did something happen? Oh, sorry. I'm just so used to them winning games. It just like comes naturally. You know, I'm no longer surprised that they just constantly win games. And of course, Kelly, he comes off the back of Pollo again, solo clutching. Pollo, I don't know what it is. And I hope that the next time I see him, I can ask him, but he's really come into his own this year. He has gone from this player that people are like, oh, Pollo's like the best support in the world. And like when it was Peterbot, they were like, ah, Pollo doesn't do anything on the team. It's all coming up Pollo this year, and I love to see that for him.
100%. I'm going to be honest. I actually turned the volume down on my headset because I thought Zeke was going to scream. So good job, Zeke. I'm very impressed. Way to control yourself because that was absolutely incredible. Peterbot and Pollo have already been doing well, and they've been doing well in a very un-Peterbot and Pollo way, but still somehow they're in the top of the leaderboard. What a surprise. But this was finally a Peterbot and Pollo game, and I think it really started with the Peterbot and Pollo height steal.
Yes, bro. Yes.
Speaking of Pollo and Birds, it reminded me of a Peregrine.
They've been in the
Falcon,
end games 3 times, but they've only won once, and it's because they've been on height once. That's the game. The other 2 games, they didn't have height.
It literally just looks like their prey explodes in the air, and you don't even see the Falcon. And that is what we watch from Peterbot and Pollo. I'm imagining Ritual and Cole were feeling super confident up on high ground, and then they just exploded. They don't even know really what happened to them. It just happened so quickly. And I feel like we are watching a video of that we could see on a nature documentary of these animals just attacking. You know, that's the Peterbot and Pollo effect. Whatever they want, they just take for themselves.
Yeah, they're playing it super well today. Obviously, we knew going into game number 4, they had a very big lead up on the leaderboard, kind of just extending that here with this win. They didn't have to fight for this, like we mentioned. Typically, we were seeing the high ground go pretty easily so far. They had the steal, they had the fight for it, and then they actually lost it for a quick moment as well. But Pollo kind of returned to form, and it was just a 1v1. Remember, it's the second time today Pollo's been in a 1v1 for the win. So these guys are just playing super well right now. This time he clutches up, and on the back foot of that performance, 333 points. They went into that game with 236, so almost a 100-point game there for the duo.
It's just Peterbot and Pollo. They do what they do, right? There's actually a little, you know, it's interesting. They went up against a team looking to qualify. HQ been encrypted that game. They came in second place. I'm curious to see what that, how that impacts the leaderboard. We're gonna take a look after this break. I'm so sorry that I fooled you, but we gotta go to break. When we come back, we'll take a look. Okay, stay tuned. We'll be right back. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Okay, I will be right back while they take this place.
heal quite a lot. I'm popping med bit. Wait, short. Got 6 build? No, max up.
Wait, if you're mid, wait.
100! 100! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Milk can help you grow. Milk can't prevent your ride from blasting into space.
I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
Woo! Peter Pollo won a game. Gotcha, Kelly. See, this is how I work, Fortnite fam. You see, she was last game. She thought I was gonna do that before break. This is how you subvert expectations, right? You keep them on their toes.
If you want to say you beat Higgs, then and 1v1 him and C, bro, it's not like you have the chance to 1v1 a pro every day, bro.
They're playing for
Not gonna lie.
money, but we're looking for one of 2 spots
Not
for
gonna
the
lie.
global championship. Okay, let's bring up our leaderboard. We
Stay in the
gotta
stream
look
real
at
quick,
things.
bro. I got a
We did
question.
say- oh,
Why are
sorry,
you giving me
actually,
so much
before
hate
you
and
jump
saying
into
all
the
this
end,
when
sorry
you
about
weren't the
that.
one that killed me?
Sorry, I had to check
It was your
the sequence
friend.
there. We
And
wanted
I
to
haven't
first
seen
look
your
at the
friend
players
send
who
one
were
message.
Powered by Milk. Very quickly, wanted to look at some stats.
And
here.
normally,
Because,
if my
you know,
stream was
Pollo
packed,
has
you'd be
330
muted because there's no
points.
point to keeping the stream. But I'm actually genuinely
When you look at the
genuinely
stats, Kelly,
curious
when
why
look at
you
the
hate.
stats, it makes sense.
You're hating on me when you didn't kill me, bro.
This whole
Like, let's
competition,
1v1
I
and
thought
then
they
you
were
could
just
say
gonna be
something,
skimming on
but your
by,
friend
but
did
this
all
has
the
really
work.
been
It's
a
not like,
low performance
it's like
from
saying
them.
Clicks is
So
my
right
friend.
now
Clicks
they're
won an
wanting to
FNC.
give us
Obviously, he's
nice-
not my friend, but
you know,
I can't be
gosh,
taking
give Brandon
his
a ton.
fame,
But
you know?
anyway, Pollo and
It's like,
Peter would
you're
really
taking
vote
your
right
friend's
now on our
fame.
players
Your
in
friend
focus.
hasn't messaged
But
me
Kirk doing a
once
pretty good job as well.
saying,
But
oh, I
right,
beat you,
does it
and
have
my
to-
friend Corey is also telling you that. I haven't seen one message, bro. I check my TikTok frequently because I'm working on another account. I'm always, I'm on TikTok more now because I'm also making a new account. So I'm checking my inboxes. I haven't seen one thing saying, oh, my friend Corey has been messaging you, and I'm the kid that beat you. Like, that just doesn't make sense.
I mean, the lead is 105 points
Realistically,
right now. I mean, Peter Pollo are
I don't
playing
even think your
so
friend
much
actually
better
beat me.
than
I ain't gonna lie.
everybody else.
I don't
Just
believe you.
look at the elimination category.
As a
Which, by
streamer,
the way,
I
is
have the say-so to
Pollo
say
himself
I
has
don't believe it.
20 of those
I
33
generally don't
eliminations,
believe
as
it.
the Aegis of Venom up
There's no
23.
proof.
So, Pollo
Friend hasn't
himself
texted me.
almost has
There's
more
no proof.
eliminations as an individual
And
every
if he
other
did,
team
okay,
in the
but
lobby. I mean, the guy's
I haven't
just
seen
playing
any
so
proof, and I've just heard you yap. Not gonna lie.
Just,
Commented
it's
it
Peter Pollo effect, right?
in
Like,
my videos and my
honestly,
lives.
props to them
It's
for
just
treating
you
this
saying
like
something
Vegas
I
Locals,
doubt it
right?
even
Getting that
happened. I ain't
practice and
gonna lie.
making sure they're showing everyone when the time comes, when we show up on land and we pick a spot, don't do it. Stay away.
And I doubt you're still in the stream, bro.
Now,
Not gonna lie.
obviously, again, in case
He's leave and then
we missed
rejoin,
it
bro.
earlier, rather,
Not
I'm
gonna
getting
lie.
crazy now. In case you missed it earlier, we have a leaderboard lineup that
Which I
actually
generally
shows
don't
us
care, bro.
which players are looking to
Really couldn't care
qualify
less
in
if
one
I
of those
beat
two
your
spots.
friend
We
or
remove
if I
players
lost.
like
So
Peter Pollo,
generally don't.
they're already through. So when you look at this,
Okay, let's
remember,
see
we're looking
this.
at one for first and second place. Right now, H-Cube and Encrypted.
Booga's still in
Remember,
10th, bro.
we saw
Booga's
them
holding
in that
10th
last
for a
game.
while.
They won. They
He was
had that
10th last
1v1
time.
against Pollo and showed up second place with 4
Second place,
eliminations.
not bad, bro.
Kelly, obviously,
He's really
eliminations
trying,
may be a
bro.
little bit low,
He's
but a
really
second
trying.
place is
I think he'll
so
fall.
good for those placement
You
points.
just gotta lock
I
in.
mean, it's
You
not
just gotta lock
just
in.
the second place, though. It's the
And,
fact that they have been
I
top
wasn't
9
a part of when
every
it
single
happened. So
game.
you're
And
taking
this
his
is
fame
obviously
because you were in the
best
party?
performance that we've seen so far that makes me feel like they've either figured something out that just allows them to get that much more, make it to the very
Well, I did beat Higgs. Look at the video. Look at the video. Videos doesn't lie. Video don't lie. All you did is spray. It's off spawn, bro. What do you want me to do? I didn't have a shotgun. I didn't have a shotgun, bro. So you think you could say you beat me / your friend because you were in the party? There's no way, bro. You're such a troll. Not even joking. You're saying because you killed Higgs because all you had in that SMG. I mean, brother, it's an off spawn. What do you want me to do? You want me to go give him a free kill and make a video for one person? You want me to go to Higgs, give him a free elimination versus me get content out of it and get more views because you're commenting? Number one, on the live, commented 3 times, and then number 2 on the video? I mean, I'd rather go with... But you're saying my friend killed you, you're bad, all this. I haven't heard your friend. I don't know who your friend is, bro. Your friend hasn't said one thing to me. You realize that? It's only you. It's like saying... I'm trying to, like, describe it. It's like me saying... I beat Click, or let's just say this. I beat my friend, but really my friend beat me, and he's not saying anything. I'm just saying it. Never said I beat you. Yeah, but you're taking your friends... But you're taking your friend and acting like you beat me. He's never came to me. You realize the difference? If he came to me and said, I beat you, I'd be like, dang, bro, GG's. You're his backup friend talking for him. It's like, did he ask you to talk for him? I don't know his account. I don't know his username. And do I care if I lost to him or didn't? No, I really couldn't care less. You know who I've died to? I've died to Curve. Did I care? A little bit, but not really. I've died to many pros, bro. And do I care? No. So why would I care about your friend, bro? And what you say. Exactly.
Was enough to have everyone else claw their way up that leaderboard.
Literally.
Can and will happen.
Doesn't make sense, bro.
Game number 5 is ready with 2 games left to go. How does this wrap up? I don't know. Casters, take it away.
Either way at this point, Jacob, but one thing's for certain, if you're in that 200-point range at the moment, you're feeling really good here, and all you have to do is...
That's actually funny, bro.
Yeah, and honestly,
you haven't even named your friend, by the way, so I have no idea, and I don't know who he is. He's never messaged me once. Not like I said, I have a new TikTok account, so I'm always looking at my TikTok. I haven't seen one person say, my friend Corey has been talking and saying that I beat you, and yes, it's true. Corey is my friend. I haven't seen that once. This could be a bot. For all I care. Who cares? I love facts. I mean, it's just a 1v1, bro. At the end of the day, I don't care. I'm over here chilling. I know, right? Bro, I'm not no pro. I don't even have any earnings. I've made earnings off my Fortnite map and a couple other things, but like, I'm not no pro. I don't even have anything earned. I don't even have 100 PR. Which is because I've been making new, which is because I have a new account, but. But I really don't care that I lost. Not a lot. Generally don't. At the end of the day, I still beat Higgs. And then to always be like that. That video will not be taken down.
Short of the placement points there. Well, either way, game 5. These are the last 2 games in front of us. Who wants it more? Who wants it bad? We'll have to
Threats
find out.
on con?
Making the joke like, dude, if you're an unqualified team at this point, you kind of literally want to go call on HQ or get in front of Chris Allo.
It's a flex that you killed Higgs. But killing a person that has 7,000 followers that got it a year ago. Anyways, Peter wins. I mean, I said he was gonna win only because he had height. Only because he had height. Not gonna lie. It's that height that matters. He was in the end game. He was I think he got top 5 3 times, and he only had height once, and then he won with height. So if he doesn't go height this game, I mean, he's just dumb. Every game, height has won, I think. Wait, no, there might be one game on low ground. Obviously, they drop off to low ground, but to get into the end game 1v1, they always are on height.
He's got 30 builds. The team above him is weak, but he's got no shotgun.
I'm not sure how I feel about him lurking around too much longer here. His team above him definitely has the advantage right now. And the more time that they get to loot,
I think
worse
him
it's
going
gonna be
for height,
for
yeah,
him.
he'll
And,
win. But
no,
if you don't have
vertical
height
angle
and Threats
there.
is on there, it's over, bro.
Starting to
Threats
run out of
wins no
options
matter
here.
what. Yeah, I should be
Perfect
live for the
pixel
event tomorrow
peek to
too.
land those shots. Spot him out as well, because for a moment you almost even question, do they even know where he's at?
Jacob.
So this is gonna be
Jacob.
tough. What's that?
In the feed, Azers took down Pollo. So we're gonna be
Azers
catching
took
up
down
to
Pollo.
that as well in a second. But right now, Alo's tournament life is on the line here. He's down to no health. And down
Dang,
he
bro.
goes.
Jeez.
This is devastating for Chris and Alo now. 206 opens up the runway here for everyone else. Javi, Aminish, Visuals, Threats, Sphinx, Curly. They can now jump up and snatch that spot. Encrypted and HQ have a chance to solidify such
That's
a
crazy. And
strong
this
lead
kid
that
is
they
talking
will
about how
virtually
his
be
friend beat me. This
qualified here
guy's the
after
one
this game.
that wanted to
Yeah,
index a
inadvertently
Sprite,
kind
by
of
the
helping
way.
HQ and
That's
encrypted
crazy. I
as
could look
well,
at his analytics.
because that was the next
He
best
came to
team
my
that was
stream
kind
about
of
some
catching
Sprites.
up.
I doubt
22
I even
points
1v1
away,
his
so
friend,
that
bro.
top two spots
straight
weren't too
doubt it.
far spread apart. And now
I looked at his
I just
stream
almost have that
catalog.
feeling.
He was
HQ
the one trying to
encrypted, if they
index a
have any
Sprite, bro.
game
When
like they've
Sprites
had
were
so far today,
huge.
ninth
That's
place
crazy,
being the
bro. I
worst
doubt I
one,
even 1v1
we
his
could
friend.
potentially see them
I
all
straight
but
doubt it.
qualify here in game
Last time I
5,
1v1
barring any
someone was
miracles
for a
for the
minute.
last one of the day.
I mean,
As we tune
obviously,
in
I've been
Venom
playing
and
my
Agers,
map, my 1v1
two
map, where I 1v1
eliminations,
people.
Monster.
But like
I
an
know you
actual
called out the
1v1
one
where
point.
someone
I gotta
joins my party
imagine
and
maybe
says, can we
Peter Pan as
1v1?
well, as they get
It's
their
been a minute.
third
Obviously, I go in
elimination here.
public and
Agers kind of
1v1, but
headhunting them all.
last time
All I
someone
know is that
came to
Venom
me
is
and
looking
said,
to
can we
play
1v1?
for a
It's been a
win.
minute,
Even
bro.
if there's no championship
It's been
axe
so long
attached to
ago.
this one, doesn't matter. That paycheck is looking to be coming his way here shortly. If, of course, they can close out strong. 2 elims.
Oh wow, nice Vino.
Making a third and fourth
Tough
now. The points are
I think Vino's
surely
third
racking
on the
up
leader.
here.
And he got a mythic. Nice.
It's a $10,000 difference between first and second place. And with those eliminations, Agers and Veno move up into
lot, but
second
that's still
place.
20
with
grand
potential
for
Peter
second.
Pan
It's still a
both
lot.
going down here. It's going to take 100+ points, Monster. But if Veno and Agers find themselves 10 eliminations, victory royale, we could have a new first place team.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. You know what I have open on my side monitor. Some streamers to watch the reaction as the catch-up happens. I gotta know. But either way, nice little skirmish here for Ritual Code up against Queasy and Victor V. Tough day for the boys there. Tough tournament so far too for Curly and Sphinx. 138 is not exactly the spot you want to be in, but a veteran team like this surely knows they have a chance, especially now that second place team is down and out.
Only down 68 points, you know, and as you mentioned, teams already down and out, so you don't necessarily need
think
to
there's
hit the
one
home
game
run
after
here
this,
in
bro.
this game. Maybe just take the first step, get on
there's one more
base,
game.
kind of work your way forward up that leaderboard. See Ritual and Cold from Latte landing, kind of moving on over in the direction of Queasy and Victor V. Neither one of these teams honestly having the day that we would thought either one of these guys would have, but it just continues to get worse because now they're both clashing here in game 5.
Yeah, tough fight for them right here. 42 points. Is it realistically possible for anyone this far down to jump up? You need, yeah, I don't know, 2 wins, an exceptional amount of elims. So, I mean, at this point, you got to play for it if you want it. There's no other way around it.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, production on the same wavelength here, encrypted down. King and Craze are going to be the benefactors of that, with HQ now stuck by himself. It was, I think, a 62 or so point lead that they had over the next best team, and King and Craze are going to make sure us at home have a very entertaining game 6.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, there's really nothing in it for King and Craze right now. This is just for the love of the game at this point. In H-Cube, if you want it, they're saying basically you're gonna have to really deserve it at this point. They're keying all the way through. Nice job for HQ. Going to get inside that rift. King, known for his exceptional aim, but doesn't quite find the tags, at least from what we can see from Crazy's POV. He's still up and going there. My gosh, talk about surprises, right? I'm over here talking about, you know, the prize might be in the bag. It's over. Oh, but no.
We both saw it. We both, and I was thinking in my head, like, okay, you survived the rift play from King and Craze, but you're in the sky, you're rifting around. It's not going to be safe from anybody else. And Booba actually found out H-Cube. So H-Cube encrypted. Chris and Aulo, our top 2 teams for Globals, are out of this game.
Okay, now this is really wild now. Now we have a tournament on our hands as far as, is it gonna be a race to the finish line? Who's gonna have the stamina in game number 6? Well, at this point, your guess is as good as mine. And even, I mean, yeah, anyone can really do it at this point now.
Every time I find myself, just, you know, make the last game of the day matter. Give us some entertainment. I kind of made the comment about Major 2 being a movie. I'm ready for the sequel. Well, we're being gifted the sequel here. You even have Yuz and Sharkman that are also in the race. A little bit further down the leaderboard, you can see 128 points, but they've just been gifted the golden opportunity with the top 2 teams in terms of global qualification down. They have to. Everybody else has to be aiming for at least the top 5 in this game.
Hater love it. NA remains undoubtedly, undisputed, the most entertaining region on the planet. You know, I was counting this tournament off. I'm like, all right, yeah, it's done. Chris got it. You know, these guys are chilling. They're so far ahead. And then the worst case scenario, everything turns around. Any team now, any team with more than 100 points here, if they win and or finish towards the top 5, are most definitely in the race towards the end. This is going to get really interesting. Then you have Agers and Benno playing for like the win of the tournament, because why not? This is fun.
Yeah, taking down Peter Bot and Poyos, as you saw. Out of our top 5 here, all teams included, 3 of them are already down. So Venno and Agers got a chance to try to take first. Visuals and Threats have a chance to move into that bubble, just like Madden. And coincidentally enough, as Duo Chance have that same opportunity here. They have a good position on top of the mountain. They just need to kind of accumulate that Storm Surge, just like Visuals and Threats. It's like a currency. It allows you to easily fluctuate in and out of the zone, around the lobby, and it kind of gives you a little bit more control over your game, because when you're below that damage threshold, it almost forces your hand.
Yeah, definitely. As you say that, too, I'm just looking at the player count. Talk about a lobby that is thinning out at the moment, as everyone, again, you start to find that desperation setting in for people that are too far behind, that they need to go fight. And it's really starting to show in the numbers. Effective Visuals, they have the outskirts, they're chilling. They have the opportunity of a lifetime here. Crazy King, hey, they're just deciding at this point, you want to qualify, you got to fight through us first. Dash and Noxy get destroyed here at the canyon. I don't know why Kingling and Craze want to take this fight, but I guess it's over the Mending Machine. Noxy should not have been here, because they're on a warpath that just cannot be stopped at this point.
Yeah, it's a team I don't want to run into. And so for Dash and Noxy, they started this game in 15th place, around 116 points. And so even though we're going to have one of those games where the top end isn't necessarily gaining as much, it almost puts your back up against the wall, where you need a victory royale and a certain number of eliminations, all while your competition going down. But at least it's not impossible. They still have some sort of a chance here that they're creating for themselves, like Venno and Agers creating an opportunity for that first place spot. It's Lasy and Wagers, another team that's on the hunt.
See how it's going to end up playing out here. Venno, Agers still have a bit of the lead here. They're in control. Agers has got the other side. These are great little side angles, and also that mythic AR down too. So much power in the hands of Venno here. 5 elims. Do keep in mind, they get like 10 plus a big end game. They'll for sure jump up, close the gap, catch up to Peter Bot and Poyo, and then who knows how they're going to want to play out the last game, but we'll end up seeing it out. They'll probably end up challenging them again, to be honest.
I'd be down for it. the Veno, Ager's revenge. We kind of know the story leading up to Major 2, how it was shaking out. They're going to contest Peterbot and Poyo, and it actually, in scrims practice, everything leading up to it, it did not go their way, almost not even a single inch. They changed drop spots. They end up triple contested. They qualify and almost win the Major 2 finals. Veno putting up some of the most eliminations again, and now they're in a situation to where they're putting the target on their own back, not just from Pete and Poyo, but any other team that looks to win this entire thing.
Is there a world where Booga and Braids win Game 5, their opposition's already been taken out by Kingling and Craze, and then all of a sudden Game 6, it's a Booga race to land? You know, the writing's on the wall here. It's a little blurry. We'll see if it ends up coming together. Either way, again, anyone over 100 points right now realistically has a chance if you win this game.
Just keeping our eyes on every single one of those bubble teams, both in and outside of that bubble. Currently, and Sphinx being one of them, 138 points. You see the zone kind of pulling everybody towards the south yet again. It's not like Curly and Sphinx. They're being very, very quick and on the button to try to rotate before everybody else. That'll give them a chance to kind of look back, increase their surge, and kind of play for even focusing somebody out. But you see where the zone's going. I almost look at visuals and threats to have one of the better positions right now.
Yeah, this is a crazy zone. We haven't seen a southern pool like this weekend or during the Major 2. I feel like this is pretty far of a draw at the moment. That Bambuga and Curve couldn't have asked for a further zone to really rotate to be honest. They're in between Kingling and Craze here to the left. Either way, they end up making it through. The Javi and a Minish in front of them as well. Okay, so this is really rough now for several of these teams here.
It's becoming a little bit more of a chore just to get to the edge of the zone. Not to mention trying to get yourself a spot deep in towards the center. Trying to give yourself a relatively easy chance no matter where the next zone does pull towards the half and half. One shockwave can kind of cover the distance. But not everybody has that luxury. You're seeing Higgs, Curve, just kind of position where they can, and it's Veno and Agers that are sneaking up onto him. Lands a good shot onto Higgs, backing him up just a little bit, but they're weak themselves. Veno does have a little bit of damage himself, so they're both going to take some time to heal up.
Yeah, Curve and Batman Booga have obviously shown they have a ton of patience inside of them. They've really just been playing every single game, every fight like it matters, as if this is a finals. You know, some teams, they kind of get into these lobbies and they're already qualled and kind of ease up, but not today, not on NA. Everyone's really playing their best. Minish and Hobby, these are really big moments here for them now. This is going to be a defining opportunity for them. If they can get a refresh here, it will be massive. Not that they exactly need it, but it's the points, it's the ability to go for high ground. They can do so much with that. They're the next team up for a qualification spot.
I'm about to say right next to them. It almost looks like Moneymaker and Fernayan found themselves in elimination. A lot of teams here in this lobby in very, very similar situations. So you can kind of see the risk-reward scenario for some, just not necessarily going their way, but as we tune into threats and visuals, not only is threats 7 below the damage threshold, visuals has just been sent back to the lobby.
See there, Threats is trying to make his return to land. He didn't get any spots in the 2025, early 26. But again, no stranger to, of course, playing in person. This is an OG by all means. Great job, by the way. Being below the surge, remaining composed, finding tags through the cracks here, and now he's got a little bit of time to work with. 6 shockwaves too, mind you. So surely, even as a solo, he can make this go the distance here, play for big placement points. He's going to need about a 30-point clutch up, 40 points to go ahead and close that gap between him. And, of course, the second place team that fell a little bit earlier, Chris and Aloe.
Literally kind of thinking the same thing. You don't necessarily, for some of the teams, need an actual victory royale just to close the gap. Chris Allo going down around 206 points. H-Cube encrypted around 228 points. So you don't need to surpass that just yet, but give yourself a fighting chance for the last game of the day. We'll continue to watch Benno and Agers. You can see 5 eliminations so far, but without all the fighting they've had so far in this game, you can see what it's doing to their material count. They have less than 600 overall, but Threats, he's going to get taken down by Evan and Zonda, and that was the next team up.
So tough to fall right there. Again, and then he had so much to work with as well. You have the perfect loadout of clutch up. But these things do happen. Sharkman Yuz have been granted an opportunity now. Top 25, they have all the damage they need. They've got a lot to work with here. Can they pull a top 5 and get back in the race here and now? That remains to be seen. Virgo's still alive there in the distance.
Yeah, now that we have placement points setting in, like you said, top 25, 2 points per placement, all the way into the top 6. Top 10 is where you get half of them. So currently Sphinx, even though they're below the damage threshold, they just need to hang on just a little bit. 4, it's not much to worry about. You have to make sure to keep yourself steady. Benno Agers, again, fight after fight. You can see what it's doing to them. 1 build, empty item slots, using the rest of their Chug Jug. So they've done a good job of closing the gap. But if they go down here, they leave a lot of points left on the board.
Well, they're doing what they need to do right now. A minute, great heal up here is going to get right back in, but almost lets his guard down. The team looks to roll through, but they defend just well enough. Meanwhile, Curly and Sphinx have to give up that little bit of high ground positioning as they have to rotate to new zone. No one has claimed the high ground, mind you. Everyone cautiously optimistic at this point, right? No one really wants to go for it. Be the one to get contested up top. Benno and Agers fighting for a refresh here. They get exactly what they're looking for. A little bit of loot to work with here. Still a long ways to go, though, before they're safe.
A singular elimination and loot that they have to split between the two. You can see Curly and Sphinx getting a couple eliminations from the backside of the zone, but they're the main focus. Teams don't want to let them in. So even though they just got a refresh, good materials, they are immediately getting burned through by Reek and Cooper, and that's why they immediately try to jump on top, reposition themselves to a much safer spot. But you mentioned nobody taking high ground, left an open opportunity for Zonda and his duo.
Yeah, finally someone's up top, and they've gotten real comfortable there. Meanwhile, Minish Hobby also debating what the next big move is here. They're kind of working their way through to make ground. Sphinx tries to clutch up a little bit more.
Yo, chat, I'm back. I haven't been here in like 6 months.
Evan and Zonda here at 4 elims, possibly looking to win the game at this point in time. Plenty of competition left in the game, though. Have Cooper Greet now playing up this next high ground positioning here. Benno and Agers still somehow are going all the way. Again, they're still fighting first. In the feed, though, Booga gets knocked there. Benno gets knocked by Cold.
Oh my. I can't believe he made it in, which is 10 HP, barely hitting the corner. Zone is closing in. Hobby, I wish you the best of luck, but it all runs out. He gets taken down, and that was another team monster that's in the hunt that failed to eclipse 200 points. And so for Madden and Chance, they're another one with the opportunity here. Top 13, so there's still over 36 placement points left on the board.
But one thing's for certain, everyone's getting closer and closer now to have a viable chance at the qualification spot. Who is going to land is going to be the question that remains. Yuz has lost Shark Fin, but he's still alive, earning placement points to top 10 now as he's at 166 here. You'd love to see it. All he goes. He's got a lot of mats to work with as well. Look at all the shots going on here. Chance is just breaking his way through everything. He's got Madden alongside him as well. Still looking for the elim here. High ground team seems to have come down possibly a little bit. Probably looking to have already ran out of materials. Madden's about to be in the same situation. G-Monster and Void from nowhere. 8 elims, 10 elims total. This is crazy. Madden's still popping off here too. He's at 2 elims now.
This is just chaos at its finest. Another one's gonna fall. 6 teams remain, 2 of them running around as solos here in this game. Madden and Chance, shots coming from all directions. They're just trying to stay composed. Yuz as well. The pressure of everything is on his shoulders to give himself a chance in game 6. With only 2 builds, he has a full Chug Jug. It's just about when and where he starts to play this heals off.
This is so good right now. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, Yuz is literally clutching up right now and giving his duo a fighting chance here to go to the LAN event.
Love the heal off play here, but he's got to be careful. Tries to get the Siphon shot there. He finds Madden, but he can't get the points or secure the Siphon in the end there. He's going to fall. And all of these points have now risen. The bottom threshold is going up. Evans on to come down there. Fishy out of mats. Zianzo, it's Josh. He gets the 2. They get the mats. Where's the last player? It's Creon from the Storm, and it's over. 12 eliminations, 143 points now for them. Respectable performance there, Jacob, in the end.
Yeah, we've saw in terms of non-qualified players first on that leaderboard go down, second place, third
I should
place.
be back.
Throughout the course of the game, it was the golden opportunity for Evan and Zonda. They got the victory royale, but they have to do it again, Zeke.
They're gonna have to, Jacob. They're gonna have to. But honestly, a win is still a win, right? Getting this opportunity in Game 5, that means going into Game 6, they have a chance. There is still that chance, Kelly. It's gonna be quite a mountain to climb, but there's a chance.
There is a chance. I mean, we've seen how many points teams are able to garner in just one game. And that
I
is
should
so
be
possible
commentating
with
the
one
next
game
game,
left
chat.
to go, Vivid. And just looking, I mean, we can't look at the leaderboard right now. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. But
I
just
think there is
looking
one
at
more
the
game.
Teams that we have within contention. This is still anyone's game. We're looking at the top 2 outside of the already qualified teams. It is still possible. We cannot just confidently say who is going to make it in.
Yeah, going into game number 5, this is exactly what we kind of called for. You gotta have a Pete and Pollo-esque game to kind of give yourself an opportunity to actually clutch up here. And what better describes a Peterbot and Pollo game than a 12 elimination win there to kind of clutch it up. I did see that their points were around that 150 mark. So like Jacob kind of called out, they're gonna have to do it again. But this is a great start from Xanda and Evan.
Oh man, 143 points, guys. I can't lie, it's a very tall ask for sure, but I do love seeing this out of them, right? Going ahead and finding that moment. It's so cool to see, like, again, especially in the kind of context of this, right, Kelly? There's so many high-profile duos running around on different layers, all fighting each other, people getting landed on, and you can still find a 12 elimination victory royale in Game 5. Like, that's still something to celebrate.
I mean, with 4 points per elimination, and then of course those 60-some points for a victory royale, that got them over 100 points. And if they do that again, and if a lot of our top teams go down again, like they did in that game, you know, it is a tall order, but it's definitely an order that can be made. However, they're going to have to go up against some big teams, but of course, again, getting ahead of myself.
I know, Kelly, I know. They're telling me we have to go to a break. They won't leave me alone, so we have to go to this break, but we have one game left to go. One final game to settle this all, and our top teams fell early in that game. How does this impact the leaderboard? We'll find out after this short break.
Okay, I'm back. Full attention. We're good. My bad, chat. Doing a couple things. We're chilling, though. We're chilling. We're back. We are back. Let's get it. Next game in 2 minutes. Okay, bet. We'll put this up real quick, and I'll see you guys in 2 minutes.
I got hit with that roll. I'm popping in med bit. Wait, short. Got 6 build? No, messed up. Wait, if you're mid, wait. 100! 100! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Milk can help you grow. Milk can't prevent your ride from blasting into space.
And we are back.
Just one game left.
One
and
game
then
left.
GC last
Oh
chance
my
over. It's
gosh,
crazy. I
bro.
feel like we just started
Has
the
been a
day,
long stream,
and
bro.
we're zooming.
It
Okay,
has
we're
been
already
a
on game
long
number 6.
stream.
We've
We
only got
should
2
be good
spots
with
going
the
to the global
sprites. I'm
championship
texting him
up
one
for
more
grabs.
time
Duos
right
in
now,
your
making sure
qualifying
he's
spots,
chill.
fighting for prize money.
He
Other
should
duos are fighting
still
for
be doing
those
that.
2 spots. Evan and Xana get a 12 victory game 12 elimination. There it is. Good job there. Victory Royale in game number 5. At 143 points, is that enough to compete with one of those top 2 spots? We'll take a look in a moment. First, we got to bring up the overall leaderboard. We'll take a look at the specific one for qualification in just a second. We just want to kind of set the stage for everything else that we're seeing. Peterbot Poyo still in the number 1 spot as Agers and Venno are slowly creeping up, trying to fight them. It's really interesting, guys. Venno and Agers actually landed on Peterbot in that last game and decided we're going to go ahead and eliminate y'all pretty much off spawn. They fell 46th place with nothing. I can't lie, guys. This is a storyline that kind of like is super hype. Peterbot Poyo versus Agers and Venno. I'm kind of into it.
I mean, it's also, I went back and watched that fight happen. And it wasn't necessarily that they eliminated Peterbot and Poyo. It was that after Venno and AJ did it, they did it like really nonchalantly. They weren't super hype about it at all. And then one of them said, all right, now we got to go win. Like they did it again, just really just lackadaisically. And I was very shocked by it. And it definitely had what the kids say aura. So for me, that was even more impressive than eliminating Peterbot and Poyo, was to do it just so nonchalantly. So yeah, the storylines are definitely building up, and we can expect, Vivid, maybe some repercussions for the actions that were taken in that game.
I mean, yeah, it was pretty crazy. Obviously, there's stuff going on among some of our qualified teams, but our non-qualified teams, also some crazy happenings going down in the early game as well. And we're going to see the impact of that on the standings. Remember, this is a leaderboard with a non-qualified team. So we saw HCube and Encrypted go down early, as did Chris and Aloe, and kind of went ahead and opened up the opportunity for teams like Javi and Diminish to kind of close that gap. You can see, we were kind of talking about how big of a lead that they have kind of established. Well, now it is down to just 22 points. And Javi and Diminish, they took full advantage of that. They didn't have the best game ever, but they got enough points to kind of get themselves closer. This was a 15th place with a single elimination. So Javi and Diminish, you know, listen, the cards are on the table for you guys now. You can kind of go into game number 6 with a great opportunity to potentially qualify for the global championship.
It also seems like a lot of our teams that have already qualified are starting to like climb up into the top 10. So that is also going to kind of shake up the leaderboard just a little bit. Obviously, these standings is just the non-qualified teams, so we don't really get that picture just yet. But I do think that this game is going to be completely unpredictable, just how close it is between from, you know, 3rd to kind of 7th place, even below then. If any of them have a really good game, that is really all they're going to need. One of those teams obviously being Yuz and Sharkman, and they had a pretty good game in that last game, going up 3 placement points. They got a 5th place with just 2 eliminations. It seems to be that they are playing it very safe. That was what we saw at the start of the game, or the start of the day. When they got their 3rd place, they only got 2 eliminations. In fact, the most eliminations that they've even got is just 2 eliminations. So they're going for the placements, they're going for the passive, and it seems to be working out for them if they were looking for a top 10. But Vivid, they're not looking for a top 10. They're looking for like a top 4, top 5 right now.
Yeah, they definitely need to start picking up some more eliminations, though. I mean, it's pretty much going to be the difference maker potentially when everything is all said and done. I mean, taking a look at this leaderboard as well, we see G Monster and Void. I mean, they had an incredible game there. 10 plus eliminations for them kind of sends them up 12 spots as well. And Madden and Chance as well, up 5 placements now, 174. It doesn't really feel like anybody on this specific leaderboard is going to be close. I mean, obviously HQ and McCryptid and Chris and Aloe sitting in those current qualification spots are going to be feeling comfortable. But with teams like Madden and Chance clutching up, with teams like G Money and Void clutching up, really anything is possible.
Yeah, man, we've got one game left. And the nerves, I mean, I'm getting nervous already. But just think about the context of that last game, right? All of our top teams fall early. Kelly, Viv, we could have a situation, if that happens again, this is the last game. There will be no more opportunities. There won't be any third chances or anything like that. If something goes wrong in this last game and those players fall early and they can't get points, that's it. They will not be qualified, and then they have to watch everyone else behind them slowly climb up that leaderboard. And if they get more points, that's it. The run's done. They have a better chance to qualify than you do. Kelly, that's a crazy stressful situation to be in.
Listen, we've already experienced heartbreak earlier on in EU of just how close some of our bigger teams can come out of just missing qualification to the global championships. And we know that, you know, for every winner we're gonna have a bunch of losers. So unfortunately, not everyone can make it to the global championships. So obviously there is gonna be a bit of heartbreak right there. But right now, these teams need to focus. They need to just play Fortnite. They don't need to think about what that's gonna mean for them. But obviously a lot is on the line with it.
Game number 6. NA, it always comes down to the last and final game. A bunch of teams
Okay, so we're still good on the sprites.
Global championship spots.
Yeah.
And then we are fighting for $30,000 at the top of the leaderboard. Peterbot and Pollo versus Agers and Beto. What is going to be the approach here in game number 6 from those two teams? Can't wait to see.
Oh man, we gotta see if Benno and Agers decide once again it's time to line up here, Pollo or not. But this is it. One final game. Let the cards fall where they may. Players, it's time to take fate into your own hands. One last game. Only 2 spots are on the line. Here we go. Game 6 starts now.
Here we go.
This is it, the last game of the day, the last chance global qualifier. I couldn't have asked for a better kind of ending going into this final game with how close the leaderboard actually is.
Yeah, we have a lot to fight for now. A fight for first place in the cash, and then of course your qualification spot, which somehow has gotten surprisingly close coming into this final game here, Jacob.
Yeah, and so far throughout the day, you know, the first early games, it was kind of slow. Not a lot of aggressive action going down, but that last game showed us everything. Nobody is safe. If your Global's qualified, you're still fighting for that first place spot, or if you want to keep your year alive. It starts, it ends here, because game 6 is ready, so let's get into it.
Last chance finals, game number 6 is here, and of course we have our eyes on the Sinister drop. We want to know if Venno and Agers are gonna go for it, and it looks like they want to, Jacob.
This is something we've been leading up to Major 2. We didn't get to see it, but now we have been gifted the chance. Pollo, probably known as one of the best off-spawn players in the game, and they get that first elimination on the Beto. Essentially a battle for first place, and now Agers is stuck by
dance is
himself,
crazy.
He eventually goes down. Peterbot and Pollo will
A
reign
dance and then
supreme.
Peterbot just standing, bro. Crazy.
And you know what? We knew that when Peterbot and Pollo were expecting to play, things would go a little bit differently. I mean, they are just that good. And now they will solidify themselves, undoubtedly, as the team to take the tournament away today with the most amount of points here.
I wouldn't call it too early, though. Still have hope the way some of these teams have been playing. HQ encrypted. Who knows? Peterbot and Pollo going down. That's the only points they get. We have a miracle run. They not only qualify for the global championship, can possibly win the entire thing. But this drop here, called the 0-point split, just east of the actual 0-point riff. OSID and Vert looking like they have a little bit more control over this game. A full loadout. What they really lack here is the shields, but everybody here at this drop does.
Definitely, this is a really scrappy fight. Everyone involved here at the moment. Shot for Volts and Kaki right here to have the first elimination on a team, and then to try to get the finish up here.
GG's.
Just like that, they find themselves with 3 moves.
This is a team that we kind of saw to start the day. They were kind of close to that bubble, but being contested. We all kind of know how that song and dance goes. You almost have to be perfect when it's top 2 that does qualify. His threats and visuals seem to get a little bit more active here, just outside of their POI towards the south. They see Rapid by himself. He's going to go down to Evan and Zonda, last game's winner, but now all the aggression is coming out from visuals and threats. They need these elims, they need the points, and they're going to get that first down onto Zonda.
It's actually huge for them right here. Again, the comeback story now for threats and visuals here. A team that somehow has 2 victories on the evening and still is in a race to try to close the gap, close the distance between them and Chris and Aloe, now their next most immediate team holding the qualification spot at the moment. It might not feel like much, but 30 points is a good lead to have coming into this last game here.
Yeah, outside of elimination, let's make it all the way to the top 10. She's shown today so far that it's never going to be that easy. But G-Money, Void, 170, giving themselves a fighting chance. 10th place on the overall leaderboard, actually tied with Reet and Cooper, but they win the tiebreaker due to average eliminations. Going to show that they're well on track. They just need to push themselves a little bit further and can't run out of gas here in Game 6. As Khaki Volts continuing their aggression, they take down Pure, leaving Wheeze by himself. So another 2v1 winnable scenario.
It's kind of crazy. Khaki and Volts are literally finding their stride in the last game, unfortunately for them. But either way, this is going to be really good for the rest of the lobby, right? Like, this placement points and things are going to start thinning out. And if you're Chris and Aloe, etc., you're going to be happy that other teams are not exactly soaking up all these eliminations.
Now, finally, I'm about to say, nobody's really here, but just on the outskirts. Kind of do see HQ and Encrypted early to kind of rotate towards the center, or at least from now, just outside Madden and Chance there as well. And you kind of seeing like a priority to rotate from some of the teams this game than what we've seen so far. Curly and Sphinx land just north, but they're getting pushed off further and further, which could be a blessing, because you see they already have the Chug Jugs. The only thing they're really lacking now is just a little bit more materials.
Yeah, gonna need a little bit more to work this mid-game, late-game situations that are to come. Looks like Curly though, 160. Again, still not quite out of it. We're gonna need that Chris and Aloe update here soon, because we have Craze and Kingling back on the hunt, going team to team, hitting these important draw spots, these main POIs. Once again, they're on a mission right now. They're at 3 elims, and we just started this game.
Yeah, luckily enough, though, you guys seeing they're pushing up towards the north, seeing how the fight started. Craze just almost little to no care in the world, just bulldozes into the box, gets both of those eliminations, and I would say HQ Encrypted, we saw kind of make it a priority to rotate out earlier on. That's how they got caught out in that last game. So everybody learning from little mistakes here, learning from the aggression of the lobby to try to give themselves a good Game 6 to close out the day.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Chris, though, finds that with the clutch elimination. And look at his inventory. He's got such a strong loadout to work with. Do you abandon the ship or stick around and fight? Noxie's also extremely healthy here, too. Much more on the line here for Chris. His teammate's still down. He's got to make the right move here. He's got to hit the right shots. Nice job boxing up Aloe there. While Noxie makes a big mistake here. Takes a little too much time to heal. That core, though, is Noxie's. Nice little side angle here for Chris to go ahead and branch his way out. Don't want to be standing on your enemy floors there.
Doing a good job of keeping Aloe alive, not at all, but he gets coned off. 2 HP. Noxie has turned this one around. He has to be able, like you said, to go. You have to take advantage of the 2 HP, especially since Lepsy and Wagers, another team is lurking in.
I think he fell. Oh no, he didn't fall. Okay, the body fell, Aloe fell off. Okay, Noxie recognizes there might be some danger nearby. He ends up dipping out. You know what? Lepsy and Wagers, by the way, this is the right move for them. to try to push Chris if they want to, of course, disrupt things. So they're lurking around. They know what's going on here. But it'd be hard to understand if there was a solo left, you know? With the limited information, seeing one player disengage, you might think this is the only guy surviving here.
Potential 4 more points if they could just get this elimination or even knock onto Dash. So far, good amount of damage. Dash is going to land 2 feet down onto the ground, but Wager Slepsy are coming to interrupt this fight. They need a certain number of eliminations, Monster. They need a victory royale. For Slepsy and Wagers, it is literally the definition of all or nothing. Because if they don't get that victory royale with Elims, their FNCS ends here, but they're able to find the open opportunity, getting the knock onto Dash. Noxie's stuck by himself with no shield, and every second he stays in the zone, that is less HP he has to work with.
The real problem is they let Chris and Aloe basically escape at this point. So even if you're Noxie and Dash, even if you're Slepsy and Wagers, your competition got away. Slepsy, Wagers, gotta speed this one up. Noxie just waiting this out. He really is desperate. You know, he's just kind of sitting here, even with all these extra fields. I'm not sure how I feel too much about this. I mean, they know you're here.
Yeah, Slepsy's Wager's doing a good job, though, of being very, very calculated. Kind of not even necessarily breaking through all of the builds, just damaging them enough to see through. And with Noxie, though, 25 seconds. He is on a clock here to have to make a move. He has 20 left on the Chug Jug, but that's not a lot of time being granted. You almost need to disengage, get to that vending machine, or find a way to get the elimination for the Siphon.
Gonna start healing here. Wagers and Slepsy. Patience grows thin. They back off a little bit. Another team is now looking down. And hey, you know what? I was wrong. Noxie makes the right move and just waiting it out, I guess, because now he's got a little bit of firepower potentially coming in from the distance. Meanwhile, Madden and Chance had an opportunity to clutch up. Madden takes down Earbot to stay in the race for a qualification spot. It doesn't get any bigger or better than that for Madden and Chance there.
Yeah, just unfortunate. They get the knock. But I'm not sure what Pollo did to make sure he didn't get taken out. But Peterbot does stay alive. He crawls into the reboot van, and they do get the reboot back up. Nobody's pushing on over just yet to try to clean up this elimination. And honestly, when it's Peterbot and Pollo, I wouldn't necessarily push on over either.
Yeah, definitely the better play for Peterbot to pick himself up. I suppose they expose himself elsewhere, but talk about an important fight.
I got no clue, bro.
Stan Madden. That ends up being
I got no
a
clue.
deciding factor as to why they qual. Be pretty excited story for them. Aminish Javi on the other side. Slow and steady. Might just be able to win the race. 184, doing what they gotta do these last couple
I
games.
wonder if they ball yet with
Exactly the way
184. I
they
don't
need
think so. It'll be like 200 something.
A little 3-2-1 in the push there, just to check what's going on.
Yeah, did a good job of focusing on the rotation in towards the zone. They're not necessarily elevated the highest, but they do have this mountain edge to kind of go and base up on. Not necessarily using a ton of materials, but I was thinking in my head, where is Chris at? We know he's a solo, hasn't gotten the reboot back on up just yet. And so Slepsy and Wagers, they're running away from this situation, but I'm not sure how, if they know how close they actually are to Chris.
There's no way.
Uh-oh. No way. Oh, no, he
Yeah, I
almost
kinda
got
figured.
away with it.
I kinda figured.
So well. I wouldn't even thought they would have checked down there.
Nah, I would have, yeah.
That was such a good hiding spot. Yeah, there's nothing Chris could do here. This is such a tough spot to be in. No more shockwaves either. He's gonna have to fight this one out to the end. He's moving though, my gosh.
He was 1 HP. He had a pop that
210
night
is where he
instant.
gets frozen at. Wagers and Slepsy have a chance. It's crazy to even say that. Because they
At
have
139
to win
and they
continue to
don't.
get
Yeah,
elims,
they need
but
to win, you
technically,
know.
they actually have a
Peter's
chance,
still in
but
first,
so does
134
everyone
to
else now. This is
286,
the opportunity
Probably over.
for every other
At
team
least
that's
for
looking to
first
qual
place.
here.
Yep, as we see HQ encrypted. I'm not sure if they're watching the feed or not, but with Chris Aldo down, Everybody below them on that
they're
leaderboard at
good.
least has something to aim for. Exactly. And the next best team, obviously, this is starting at the game. You see their 228 points. The next highest team was Javi and Aminish at 184 points. So roughly a 44-point lead above the next best team that can push them out of the global championship qualification spot. So they just need to have just one of the casual performances they've had on the day so far, and they're good.
Money.
Yep, now you have all these teams who, I mean, quite literally, I think it's going to come down to which one of these teams effectively win the game. Void G Monster, if they do it, it's going to push them over the edge. It's going to give them so many points. They're going to need those extra points to really separate themselves because of how close it's been, especially since, you know, it's really interesting. All these teams that are kind of on the bubble for the qualification, they're not the ones picking up a ton of eliminations, right? It's the ones that are extremely desperate for trying to close the gap here. And that's why we still have almost the same exact points where we left off on with everyone else in the game.
It's good chat. Was good.
On the other side have already effectively picked
Wonder
up
what
too,
Clicks and Rapid got when Rapid was playing solo. Rad's
Another
174.
Western pool. We've already seen them win a game from here, so they know how to do it.
Playing a bunch of Storm. Fire's probably
Just
the
a
best.
matter
player
of
on
they can make it through the mid game because that's when
Oh,
a lot of
they're
their
both
struggles are
about that.
happening. The next best
Yep.
team, Hoppy and Aminish,
Got his kill.
they go down.
Peterbot,
Peterbot,
wow.
Boyo are the reason for them to go down. So another
That's so
team's FNCS year has come to an end. And then now I gotta look at the next best team, Yuz in Sharkman, who started at 176.
There's no way, right?
I saw
There's
someone at
no
180.
way.
I forget who it was.
Poyo does end up falling here.
349.
Peterbot's left by himself. We've already seen Poyo do some miraculous things as a solo. Obviously going on those
Peter's been dying a
crazy
lot today. I
elimination
don't know if he
pairs.
can clutch it.
Peterbot by
Just get like a
himself.
second or something.
Vibes are up. They already have the tournament in the bag. I mean, he
Do
might
they?
just continue to do crazy things here
Do they?
himself.
I don't know if they did.
But again, talk about the biggest upset.
Wow, great shotgun.
Not
100
gonna diminish
bullets and
there.
16 bullets in shotgun.
Dreams
Ooh.
getting crushed here. Sphinx and Curly
Dude, that's
actually
rough.
have a chance now to overtake some of these
At
teams
164,
here.
bro,
That
you
chance
cannot be
to one of
shooting.
those dangers.
Surge isn't
Standing
even
between
active.
them and, of
Barely
course,
got
the
any
position at the
bullets.
LAN event.
Use 2 shots. You only have 1 shot. I'm not gonna lie, you were
Fries.
fried.
Definitely end up being very close depending on
Literal fries right now.
if our already qualified teams start getting eliminations
Oh my
here,
gosh, you
siphoning
used
points
so many
away.
builds. I don't know how many builds your teammate had.
Curly and Sphinx, they're just looking to get into the zone for now. As soon as they find it safe, comfortable, or at least as comfortable as it can be, you can see them kind of lurking around.
It's the
See
curve.
Scuffle going down, immediately
Curly.
landing shots onto Curve, onto Higgs as well. Just trying to alleviate the stresses of the eventuality of Storm Surge.
Not gonna lie, I want to see what Slepsy and Wager's looking
174.
like. Because if they somehow continue
600
to climb,
above Surge.
that would just be the craziest story. But threats and visuals, 2 elims above the threshold, plenty of
Bro,
material.
those chairs look horrible.
This
They
is
don't
looking
got
like
any
the dream
headrest.
run for them. Meanwhile, Peterbot on the other side is way below the
I would
threshold
not get
himself.
that.
He's got a lot of
300
damage
below,
to catch
Jesus.
up with.
Oh, that's Peter. That's why.
But he's
3
got
shotgun
nothing
bullets,
to
bro. I don't
lose.
think he's-
This is another win in
I
the
think he's
bag for
good.
him right here. 325 below the
Like, how
lead.
is he not getting
Who
pumped in
are
the
you
back?
gonna target
Not gonna lie.
next? Oh, little
Not even
revenge
lying.
onto Cold. Okay, I like
200
that.
builds. He's definitely
So
dead here soon.
confident. You can see him kind of
I
lurking
can
on
tell.
over. But he just can't
come
get
on, I
tunnel
bet-
vision
I
on
bet
one
he does
team.
right here.
350 is a lot to overcome, especially since you're still taking a little bit of damage, running out of builds.
Yeah, I
tries
bet.
to break
Yep,
into that
right
first
here.
box. A
Huge.
whole nother duo on the
Yep.
other side, and that's just going to be a little bit more for
349.
Peterbot to handle as a solo. He's going to go down, even with first place already secured. It's a big team out of the lobby, and a team that can no longer
700
siphon away
bucks.
points.
Peter
Definitely.
did horrible
Say
today.
that
I
too.
ain't gonna lie.
Batman Booga falls there as well.
couldn't
These
even
are
clutch
teams
up,
that
but
are sitting up
without
at the
Boyo,
top
I don't
of
think
the
they qual.
standings, falling
Eh.
right now.
Or not qual, but like
Quite
get
honestly, I
first
can't
at
tell if
least.
that's going to be
Not qual,
beneficial
not qual.
for anyone trying to
First place.
hold
They
the
don't get first
qualification
place
spot or
card.
not, but I don't think so. Yeah, teams like Sphinx and Curly just now starting to earn their placement points.
Yeah, better chances for those points to go to the teams that actually need it. instead of first place or any of our other global qualified teams, but you're
see
seeing
Curve,
everybody
I don't
making a
see Higgs.
priority, rotating forward
Big
toward
I
the
see
zone.
Booga.
Does have a western lean.
A lot
So
of
for
people
Booga
need to
Braids,
qual
they
here.
might be one of the last ones to start their rotation, but most of their way there is going to be relatively clean. A little bit of a mess up for Braids on that shockwave. Forced to expend another one, but this is where they alleviate themselves, and this is almost a make or break rotation if they go through the cone.
Crazy to think that Booga and Braids are at 160 right now, 5 eliminations. How many more can they go for? Another 10 and they'll close the gap. Encrypted HQ, the team that has that comfortable lead, now starting to soak up those well-earned placement points. This is good for them here. Notice they're not doing anything risky, Jacob.
Yeah, I think they know. There's going to come a point in time in this exact game where it's going to become mathematically impossible for them to lose out on one of those two spots. They just need to maintain their composure. Stay 190 or so above the damage threshold. Luckily for them and everybody else, 4 players need to go down. Stone Swords will no longer be a worry, but we got a battle for high. King, Craze, Cold, and Ritual. Cold, Ritual do seem to get that first elimination.
Whoever gets hype, bro,
King,
will
leaving
win.
Craze
Whoever
all
gets
by
hype will win.
himself. Again, that's a team that is ahead on the points on the leaderboard that they've just taken out of the lobby.
Yep, definitely just crashing out for high ground because why not? It's the last game. They're looking to end it with a bang. Meanwhile, Visual and Threats slowly, surely inching their way up towards Chris Allow's position. Sharkman and Yuz are doing the same as well. They find Ace first there. Couple solos remaining in this game. Do keep in mind, that's why there's still 24 teams alive on the board there. Sphinx Curly find themselves very much hurt on the outskirts of the map there.
Just kind of had my eyes locked on Liam and Veer. One of them's down, stuck in solos. Madden and Chance, not necessarily going for elevation. Just trying to stay down below, putting a target on H-Cube encrypted. Even though they have so much more of a cushion, that'll be the last thing a team like this would want to fall and let the nerves kind of eat you alive. 240 though, the cushion just continues to get built. Top 20 situation. A good chunk of the placement points so far, and you can see players just dropping like flies.
Yeah, it's nothing to worry about at this point. I mean, you really want to start looking at everyone else who's getting very, very close to that number here. Yuz, Sharkman still alive. Chance there in the mix. H-Cube and Encrypted just kind of cruising by. Take a look at Sharkman's situation here. A single elim that they just got off the Ace, but they have a little bit more maps to go the distance here. Target now putting on their back here from the rest of the lobby here. 196, just a couple more teams falling.
198.
Give them the position over Kristen Allo, and then it's a fight to
Y'all gotta
hold
keep
it.
going. Y'all gotta keep going.
I think it was around 210 or
202,
so points.
204,
Chance
208.
there. You can see they picked up 208, but that just goes to show how close it is. Multiple teams on the verge
208,
of
200.
breaking that threshold that Chris and
Solo.
Allo dropped before they went down. Visual, the threat, similar spot. 200 points. We have so many teams over 200 points at this point.
208.
Already 3
Dead.
duels at
202.
least, but Madden falls at 208. More placement
That
points
needs
going
2-0
the other
like
way.
that.
Chris and Allo technically are still holding the line.
Yeah, unless this guy dies.
Couple more duos in between them. Visuals watching what's going on here.
254,
H-Cube solo by himself.
Hey, you qualled,
He's
brother.
already secured. He's got it.
Sure.
Big elimination there on
You
Tavir.
64
Vertified there. Nice stop in.
Good.
Meanwhile, Yaz and Sharkman
210.
210 now. It's their spot to fight for.
It's tough, bro.
Literally a few eliminations, a few
They're
placements
about to get
separates
this killed.
going to the
Yep,
global
they got it.
championship.
218.
Their season ended,
I think that's
and
the
they
guy
tried
that
to
had
extend it
202.
further. Another elimination, the second one, and when
think they qual
need it
right here.
most, could
This
you
is
see
the
their
team that
material
will
count? They have relatively little to nothing.
I said it, bro.
Same
Hype
on
would win.
Jugs,
Whoever
but
has
on
hype
high
wins.
ground, Slepsy and Wagers.
already know.
We've been gifted
Yep,
such
Agers
a
is
great
winning,
end to
bro.
this tournament.
This
100%.
is crazy. They came into this
It's
with
literally
such
confirmed.
a huge gap between them and everyone else, but we said it. If they can jump over 10 eliminations and somehow win the game by some miracle, they might qualify, especially
they're at
since they are the
185. Wow,
reason
yeah, they need to
Chris
win.
and Allo fell in the first place. And
218.
look at
Wow.
that.
They
Their
need for
closest
214.
competition
Wow,
just got
everyone's
taken out.
gone.
2 of them, in
186.
fact,
Wow,
and
he could
Jacob,
qual too,
the
though.
runway
Cold.
might be open
Well, I
for
think
them.
Cold's already qualled. They're at 191. Dude, they need to win so bad.
191. This is essentially
If
a
they need
win
second, they
and
need
you're
second.
in, and
Something
it's
like
not
that.
just into any tournament. It's to the global
195. Oh, it's gonna be so close. Oh,
Already
you're
with 7
dropping this
eliminations,
interesting.
top
Oh
5.
wow, they got a kill.
Another
Nice, get
solo
the
toward
finish.
the back as Slepsy picks up that knock on the Carillion, leaving Jargu by
199.
himself. They are
So close.
walking it down right now.
199.
Barely
They
any
still
build.
need to do more. Cold still in the storm. They got to be careful. Another knock's going to go their way. They are literally
203.
securing the points that they need.
They need it so bad.
They need 15 more
Like
points.
no build,
Can
60.
they find these Elans?
Hit
They
this solo
cannot
right
go
here. Nice.
to other teams here and now.
207.
His teammates there. Jargo steals one of them. 207. They need to find... Who's this? HQ out of nowhere, still playing as a solo here. They've given up the high ground. They're out of mats now. Jargo's still alive. Here comes the edit.
Wow.
HQ shooting down. They get that one as well. This is the defining moment here.
Wow, they win. 228. Yeah, they win. Wow. Wow. They needed a win. They needed a win. Wow. They needed a win.
228,
Wow.
maybe even plus points at this point in time. Did we just witness a moment where Slepsies and Wagers needed eliminations? They needed a victory royale, and they got everything, Zeke!
Jacob. FTF. Oh my gosh. We're getting final numbers, okay? We're just making sure everything looks good and looks clean. I'm refreshing these leaderboards as soon as we are ready to let you know who the winners are to confirm and make sure everything is good. Oh my gosh, in this last game, and this is why you just can never give up, man. You have to, like, if you're a player
crazy,
out there,
bro.
this is just such a
Wow.
perfect example
Walled.
to fight until the very
Walled.
end, until that
Wow.
last game. We
So
look
they
here, I'm so
needed
sorry, my
a
eyes were closed, I
win,
was
they
so
needed
in
everything.
shock, but it is in fact true. Off of a single game, Slepsy Wagers in game 6 find a massive victory royale, and it is enough, Kelly.
Listen, we knew that it was possible from this duo.
Crazy,
We
bro.
saw in game number 2, they walked away with a victory royale, but they did it with one
I thought they were
elimination,
about to
and then
get
they got
2v1, I'm
40th
not gonna
place
lie.
after that.
I didn't even
thought
think they
were
needed to
done
win.
and
I
over
thought
with.
without the
We
win, they
all
would have
loved them all.
qualified,
We
but
had
I
different
don't know. I
storylines
didn't look
going
at
on,
it.
and none of it
Actually,
had
no,
to
I
do
can look
with
at it right
Slepsy
now.
and Wagers. Well, now they are the main characters in this
Let's just
story. To
say
be able to take the final
it's
stage, get the win,
228 to
and to get just about
218.
the amount of
I think they would have
eliminations
been,
need, Vivid.
without the
That
win,
is a
they
story
would have been
worth telling.
tied, I think.
I mean, there's so many times,
And then it would
Fortnite
just
where
be
we
up
talk
to
about those
kills,
last
maybe?
teams, like, yeah,
Maybe.
the math can
It's not
math
original.
out, like, you
That's
can
not
clutch
confirmed
up,
yet.
but it's not really likely, right? Slepsy and Wagers, they finally bring it to fruition here. I mean, they were on
I mean, even with,
123
no.
points before that game. I mean, yeah, they effectively played 2 games today, both of them
Yeah, wow,
being
they
wins.
needed
It
to
was
win. No,
enough
they were
to
at
carry
215.
them
They
into
needed
that
to win.
qualification spot
They literally
into the
needed to win.
global championship.
Crazy.
What an
They're at
incredible
215, so if
way
they
for Slepsy
lost,
and
they
Wagers
would have been
to
at.
make their way
It would have
to
been lower
layer.
than 218.
There was literally no other way for them to get in. That, like, they had
Crazy.
to win that game to continue the dream. I cannot believe it. In the final few moments of that, they won it all. They pushed out Yuz and Sharkman, Visual and Threats. Oh my gosh. Also, you know, obviously that was an insane run. I did want to really quickly just double back as well to H-Cube and Encrypted, kind of give them their flowers as well. Phenomenal showing on the day. 304 points from the duo. Kelly, I'm looking at only one game, only one quote-unquote bad game, we'd call it, right? A 38th place, but everything else was inside the top 10. They were looking fantastic. I'd love to take a look at the overall leaderboard to kind of get a full picture. So remember, that leaderboard we just showed you as players who needed to qualify. But this is a look at everything, right? So Peterbot, Pollo, yes, they did win, but again, Kelly, just such a big moment for H-Cube and Encrypted, also securing themselves a spot.
It is a huge moment, especially it wasn't like they were able to secure themselves a spot. They got second place. HQ was doing incredibly well as a solo in those final moments. I think they were already kind of confirmed once we did reach the middle part of that game, but for him to do that and get second place, just great showings for our 2 teams that have qualified themselves into the global championships. Big shout outs, of course, to HQ and Slepsy and Wagers and Encrypted. But listen, I know we're not talking about the teams that already qualified, but Peterbot and Pollo versus Agers and Venno. What another storyline that just had such a satisfying ending, Vivid.
Yeah, this is gonna be one of those moments where Peterbot and Pollo, they're like, yeah, listen, we know Agers and Venno were kind of coming for our throats here on this one. They were trying to, you know, take a set.
Going to the sprites. Okay, chat, give us 1 second. One quick second. I have to send them what sprites I have and then which ones I don't. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to see. She's not responding, so give it a minute. Chat, I'm gonna go back in this until he joins. See what else they're saying. Okay, chat. I'm gonna do the Sprite thing off stream because it's gonna take a while. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing. Peace out.